Um, you had come home from your adventures out with that cult. You'd gone around, discovered some new friends in terms of shopkeepers and such. We had a lot of technical difficulties last week, so the game was kind of cut short. But in that, James had wandered off, decided he was going to get allies without consulting the rest of you, and brought back a very mysterious woman,
I
wearing
did consult him.
without wearing a completely disguised under a black cloak and a weird horse mask. At which point, it turns out that his goals, her goals, and the party's goals are at complete opposites. So when she left to return back to her guild, which also was James's guild, Will decided to follow, and somehow got spotted. Although he's not certain why he was spotted when he tried to make it in. At which point he got chased all the way back to the manor. So you guys have become alerted that you might have accidentally made some new enemies. Um, so you're considering laying low tonight. However, you also have an invite from a individual known as Pelios to return to his shop in the Chasm district and see something of potential import concerning the Chasm district. And several of you said that you wish to do that, or at least one of you did.
Phaedra wants to.
Yeah.
Yeah. We wanted to bring Will along with us. Because he's a nature expert.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, guys, it is the afternoon of High Sun 16. It's getting towards evening. You can already smell cooking smells coming from your kitchen, coming from the Windstar family kitchen. That you have a nice map, you can actually see stuff. The imp, since the imp is usually invisible, but at the moment the imp has decided to show itself and has landed on Rhiannon's shoulder again.
Oh, well, look who decided to grace us with his presence.
Starts mumbling in Infernal, which Ralthar hears. It's I'm always here. I'm just usually invisible, and right now, well, the Dark Prince is not happy about the situation that's developing.
Oh, really?
What's he saying?
The Dark Prince is not happy with the situation that's developing.
Well, is anybody really happy with this situation that's developing, really?
No, not really.
I am.
Oh, God.
Well, I can't talk to this thing. Somebody do.
Oh, you could talk to me, the imp mutters in Infernal. I just only respond in this language.
What do you say?
You.
He said that you can talk to him. He understands you, but he only speaks in Infernal.
It's kind of a one-way conversation, to be fair.
Well, if the Dark Prince is so concerned, what does he suggest we do then?
Well, from what I understand, you might need to make a deal with him, considering that the people you guys seem to have upset are patronized by an ally of his.
Looks like we're making a deal with the Dark Prince.
No. I'd love if we did this.
I mean, he's not bad.
He's got the name
We
Dark.
got back fine.
Still no.
Yes, still no.
I mean, I made a deal with him, and it was fine. And I actually have a lot of information, and she'll, tap her tome. I wouldn't mind. At least ask.
Didn't Phaedra get her memories wiped, though?
Yeah, this is Rhiannon talking, sorry.
Yeah, but
Yeah, but
interrupts Phaedra lost her memory.
To be fair,
Phaedra-
that's kind of a Feywild.
Yeah, Rhiannon will say, that was Feywild. That wasn't him. And Phaedra will speak up, I remember everything from leaving. I don't remember. So I remembered everybody. And she'll look around. I didn't forget any of you or anything from my past.
Yes, but still, you did forget things. Who knows what?
The imp starts waving back at Ralthor. Goes over to hang on one of his horns.
Didn't he also give like Bellavor that stone to wipe y'all's memories? Why is Beast moving? Oh yeah, look.
Well, you guys are all chatting, so I figured I'd move everybody into the dining room.
Yeah.
'Cause at the moment, you guys are pretty much just hanging around in another room or in the dining room. I figured, or you can always just hang out and hear. It's just as long as you're all in the same room, it's all good.
Gamel's just still kind of writing stuff in his book from the scrolling as he's kind of talking. And goes, well, the that simple fact. Plus, I just don't trust him.
And the imp
I don't
hears
see-
Ralthor's whispering, and leans over and says, "Oh, sure, we're buddies." And just sits on his horn.
Since when, though? You keep teasing me about my alcoholism.
What? There's nothing wrong with that.
Didn't you stop drinking?
Do you speak infernal?
Because he's actually, Ralthor's actually answering the imp in Infernal.
Beast is drinking.
The awkward drink.
Ooh, Tobias.
Yep.
Goodbye.
Yeah, Tobias, I figure Will's hanging outside the bush right now, unaware of what the rest of the party's doing.
Yeah, that sounds like Will.
Yeah, that
He's
sounds
gonna
like.
get himself murdered.
Yeah, Phaedra will look around and be like, "Should we get Will out from the outside with the looming presence of a Assassin's Guild looming?"
Can
Do
we
you even
find him?
think?
That's a good
Yeah.
question.
So,
Beast steps in and corrects her. Thieves Guild, not assassin.
Fair.
by the way, the only two people in this party, that speak Infernal, Ralthor and Shuri.
Shiori, yeah.
Well, Biddy, because isn't he kind of demon dwarf?
Well, he didn't grow up speaking it, but Biddy,
Yeah,
do you
fair.
speak Infernal or not?
God no.
Alright, so
Okay.
I wish
No
to see...
character understands Infernal of mine.
Yeah, so I will be speaking with Shuri and Ralthor for a moment.
Oh, good.
Shady Biz.
I've been forcefully moved.
Alright, so the imp who's currently sitting on Ralthor's horn while the rest of the party kind of chit-chats away, and, it's kind of squeaking a bit and looking over towards, looking down at Ralthor, looking over at Shiori, and is basically muttering an Infernal, saying stuff like, I know you don't trust him. I mean, yeah, he's a bad dude. He'll admit that. But the Dark Prince does have some ways out of this problem upcoming. The thieves guild that one, he points over, gestures towards Beast, belongs to, and that other annoying asshat, definitely speaking about James, belong to, happen to be patronized by someone very powerful, who has given power to them. And, the Dark Prince it's kind of an ally of this individual, and would be willing to intercede on, your guys' behalf. Though, of course, there will be a price to pay for that. If not, I imagine the Dark Prince will do something and maybe tell me to take Rhiannon away from the situation. She seems to have caught his interest somehow. Nobody really understands him. He just does what he wants to do. But anyway.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So there are some possibilities. I mean, at this point, I think if the Dark Prince sees him again in person anywhere, he might just kill that Jade person. Or James, or whatever the hell that thing's name is.
I'd prefer he didn't.
Well, that's something you would have to talk to him about.
Yeah.
He does already. But as for deals, the price would be the deal breaker.
Well, you'll have to talk to the Dark Prince about that. He's someone here has to. That depends. That's up to you guys. If not, I have my orders to keep Rhiannon safe.
I will be doing that as well.
Well,
Same.
I can. I end up taking her back to the castle. Is what I mean.
Then not same.
Well, when it comes to this situation, it's the Dark Prince would rather not send his forces against this individual's forces. I mean, as I said, the patron of this particular guild happens to be an ally. So, pretty much instead of him sending forces here to help out, which he would against some of the other potential interested parties in this particular city, he would rather that I just take Rhiannon away.
I'm not really leaving us so much of a choice.
Well, as I said, it's up to you.
So either we go see the Dark Lord and we keep Rhiannon and make deals that's probably going to cost maybe possibly lives, or we lose Rhiannon and suffer consequences of what's going to happen with the Thieves Guild, is it?
Well, to be fair, some of you put yourselves into a very dangerous, precarious situation.
Not the worst situation I've been in.
Maybe, maybe not.
No.
But I'll tell you something. And the imp looks, gazes right at Shiori. I see that you have a mark of that same patron on you. Just a light one.
The one that Thieves Guild works with?
Oh, yes. I can see that signature on you. It's very light. You have a more standing association with something else, but you've clearly been chatting, at the very least, with this individual.
I see.
Well, don't say I didn't warn you. At which point the imp is done talking to you two. So for the last 2 minutes, you guys have listened to Shiori and Ralthor talking infernal to the chittering imp. No one is quite sure what anybody's talking about there, but there's clearly a conversation that's been going on.
3 things that I took out of the imp. Well, took from the imp. What the imp has told me, there are 3 things to talk about.
Okay.
Number 1. We might need to go see the Dark Prince.
No.
No.
Alright.
Or we may lose Rhiannon.
What?
What?
Yeah, the imp said that the Dark Prince, the Dark Prince, right? Yeah. Like what's happening, and he's taken a fancy of Rhiannon in some sort of way, and he wants to protect her possibly and take her back to a castle or a prison or some sorts. And
What?
Why
Castle.
why don't we just say fuck Logref and leave that guy alone?
Well, as Ralphar so delicately put it, our choices are we either lose Rhiannon for the duration of this, and potentially more, and deal with the guild directly ourselves, or we send one person to make a potential deal, not have to agree with it if we don't like the price, and if we agree to the deal, he'll deal with the situation, and Rhiannon will have to be removed from our group.
I want to say another thing in Infernal. in Infernal,
Go
I
for
want to ask the imp, if Rhiannon did go, would there be a chance of getting her back?
And the imp responds, and the rest of you guys just hear chittering except for Shiori and Ralthor, that, she'll come back as soon as the situation is dealt with. Either you guys are all dead, or the other guild is all dead. It really just depends.
Okay, so that helps. I'm talking in English now. Sorry. So Rhiannon, if she does go, we can get her back in one of two ways. Number one is if we are successful and have dealt with the situation, or if we all turned up dead.
One
Well,
or the other
tactic-
deal with the die, basically.
Is this deal have to be just an agreement with one individual, or is it a deal with the entire group? Can you ask the imp?
I
Imp,
can
you
hear
heard
you.
her?
Of course I heard her!
I love this.
And you see the imp just patting Rhiannon on the head when she says that, and shaking its head, and looking over towards Ralthor.
She
and
kind of cocks her head up, a little confused.
It says, remind her I can understand her, I just can't respond in common. But
What's he
anyway,
saying?
it can be whatever you want. One person can make a deal, the whole group can make a deal. Just whoever wants to go over and talk to him.
Why does there need to be a deal, though? He cares about...
Beast, you can't understand! It's speaking in infernal, Beast!
I was thinking someone should translate.
Yeah.
That's up
One
to
person can
Ralthor
make the
or
deal,
Shiori.
Or a whole group can make the deal, it doesn't matter.
One people, two people, everyone can even go
well,
if they wanted to.
Since
I'm always
involves
good at making
my-
deals.
Well, since it involves my safety, and he's taken a liking to me, I don't mind making a deal.
Well, why do we need to make a deal, though?
To protect you, of course.
Yeah, but Lograf is this all-powerful being, right? Can't he just do a freebie? Like, it's kind of...
Oh.
I mean, he cares about Rhiannon, so it wouldn't be a
As the
free...
Beast says this, you hear chittering from the imp again as it's looking down right at you, Beast. And Ralthor and Shuri, you hear the imp say, "What? This moron here, who keeps insulting the Dark Prince and yelling curses at him, and is friends with that other Jade person who keeps really cursing out Lagra. Sorry, the Dark Prince. It wants the Dark Prince to do him a favor." And the laughter, everybody can understand the laughter at the very least. You can hear that the imp is laughing
Beast,
hysterically on top of you on inside.
I'm gonna grab some muck from my...
Beast. The little devil is saying, "Hope you're having a great day."
That's good. That's good.
Oh.
Can I interject though real quick? Because beans like that don't exactly make deals for free.
I mean, he wants to keep Rhiannon safe for whatever reason, right?
Then let him keep me. I don't... I'd rather... I mean, we don't have to accept the deal, correct? I can at least go and listen.
The imp is tapping you on the head and just kind of patting you there as if to say, yeah.
Let me go and listen.
You're not going alone. That's...
Definitely not.
I volunteer.
Jim Branson. Fancy a trip to the Feywild?
It's been a long time since I've been there. Well, not really.
I think we all go.
Alrighty then. You hear the Shuri and Ralthor again hear the imp say, and the imp jumps down And suddenly, where the imp was standing, a large portal appears.
Rhiannon walks through.
Gamma walks through.
Whoever wishes to be
Ralph
here,
will walk through.
whoever wishes to be here, please put your token down.
So what kind of portal is this?
It is
Is
a
it one that you could easily trip over?
portal. Portal. It's a portal.
Non-physical.
I don't know where I am.
You put yourself down there.
There we go. Boop.
No, Will, we did not. It's just been the equivalent of a short rest only. It's still the 16th of High Sun. So, Will, are you coming in through the portal, or you're staying outside, unfortunately?
I think he's asleep.
It's up to Will.
Nope.
Phaedra is back there, so she'll be with Will.
Alright, cool. So, we have Adler, Biddy, Galmil, Beast, Rhiannon, and Ralthor. So, as you guys exit the portal, some of you are familiar with what Lograth looks like, and remember and have spoken to him. Rhiannon, of the group of you, Rhiannon's the only one who's actually been in this library before. She and Phaedra visited, and she remembers. It's, a vast, for a castle library, this place is pretty decent. Like, you can see there's all sorts of, bookshelves everywhere. There's various soft chairs, small tables, tomes. There's lots of books. This is the smell of paper everywhere, and just some good space. There's even some groupings of a couch, couches over with a coffee table between them, for more like a nice impersonal sitting area sort of place. This is the sort of place that Sora would really love.
Sora loves books.
Yeah. In one of the chairs nearby, kind of watching you guys as you come through the portal, some of you recognize him, others of you are seeing him for the first time. You see what looks like a somewhat human-sized, though more like 7 feet tall, but, kind of roughly humanoid size, kind of dragon with black scales, kind of a, body plan is a bit more humanoid, although clearly not a dragonborn. Something that's definitely more dragony than dragonborn, but still kind of, but basically bipedal with hands instead of front limbs sort of things, wings. But there are some unusual features. For one thing, his right arm is missing, and instead there's something mechanical that's poking out from the robes with articulated fingers and everything. It's all metal. His right eye is similarly missing. Instead, there is a bunch of gold metal with a ruby affixed to the center of it. His left eye is visible, and it's pure red in color. Actually, it's got pupil and all. It's got white pupil, but I'm saying it's like a very red color, similar to that of the ruby. And he seems to smile slightly as he sees the group of you. Ah, good. More of you came this time. And he sets aside the book he was perusing and onto an end table and stands up. Well, some of you have yet to meet me, and others we are kind of acquainted. And he glances at Biddy, and he looks at Rhiannon. I am Prince Lograth. Welcome.
Good.
Rathor just slightly waves.
And he kind of grins slightly at Ralthor. Lovely looking tiefling. And he looks back towards Biddy. And how is that sword of yours treating you?
Good.
Poorly.
What?
And you must be Adler. He looks towards the other Windstar. Well,
Yeah.
I am sure you have questions. Perhaps I can answer them for you with And as you're talking, and just Rhiannon mentions tea, a human. Oh God, I didn't realize I'd forgotten to import his character thing into this picture. Darn it! Uh, uh, a human figure kind of enters into the room. I have a picture for him. I just don't have his character sheet on this particular one. It's on the other page. Enters in
Is it-
there. Yeah.
Rhiannon will wave and say, "Hey, Aki."
He kind of nods. And, comes bearing tea and other stuff. He does not look very particularly happy about performing such duties, but, he's stuck doing them anyway. And he
Rhiannon will grab a cup.
sets the pot down and the cups and, looks over at the rest of you. Kind of folds his arms.
Rathor's going to also grab
Especially
a
he
cup
seems
of
to be
tea.
gazing at Adler. It's like,
Adler's just gonna look back as if, like, yes.
There was one of you on my world, too. He was eaten by a trash monster of sorts.
I'm sorry?
Oh yes, this one is. I'm surprised to see you here.
He looks back towards Galmil. Why?
I don't know. It felt like you were with someone else at the moment when I last left you. I mean, we left you here.
Yes, well. Unfortunately, my godmother has seen fit to lend me out to the prince here.
And possibly to us as well.
And he kind of inhales sharply at that. Well, perhaps. And Lagrath still makes a grin, and Lagrath seems to be gazing a bit at Beast. You are a bit of a surprise to see here. I know how much you seem to dislike me. Even though we have yet to meet, properly anyway.
Seem is the wrong word.
Well, the truth is, you really should not get into the habit of disliking somebody you've never met. It is quite rude.
Tell that to my friend.
To be fair, you haven't really made the best impression.
Now. Let's not start this off this way. Everybody.
I'm just speaking fact. That's all I'm doing. I have no problem with saying it.
Sip your tea. We'll see what he has to say.
So, Beast, how much do you know about Beast's guild here? I mean, I know he's mostly just following Jade around and obeying her at every
Jade?
turn.
Jade?
I would like to technically speaking, other way around.
If you wish. Especially now that I had to do a little bit of memory tampering, but, well, it appeared to be imperfect. Oh well.
That seemed unnecessary.
Oh, it was very necessary from my perspective. She was becoming quite an annoyance. And I was trying to do something interesting for Rhiannon here. But, well, it doesn't seem to have worked quite right.
Curious.
What were you trying to do?
Mostly just take away memories of dealing with a certain somebody. The trickster likes to hand out artifacts, and people get obsessed with them, always to their detriment, and don't like it when those artifacts are taken away from them. Really, she, whatever you wish to refer to it as, is quite... You guys have a reason not to like me, and I do not blame you for that, but she does things that, well... And he kind of glances over, giving a meaningful look towards Adler at this point. You spent some time with Thorn, correct?
It was under a deal. That was for the betterment of the entire group.
If you say so. But still.
Hey,
Rhiannon will
didn't-
look over at Adler and
Hey.
just nod.
she didn't have to give the rest of the group the language, but she did.
If you believe that, sure. And he kind of gestures towards the seats. Go, sit down, be comfortable.
Rhiannon will
good.
go sit.
Peaceful
Ralthor
discourse.
will sit.
I'll sit next to Rhiannon. Just staring at at Lograf the entire time.
Ralthor is sitting on the ground.
Adler and Biddy aren't.
So, you say you have a deal.
Yes, well, as I said, this one, again, gestures towards beasts, guild happens to be, have a patron. The, Night Mistress.
Oh, we've met her.
Yes, I know. And, from what I understand, they are quite angry at you. Not you in particular, Rhiannon, dear. I mean all of you, the Iron Roses.
That's unfortunate for them.
Ralthor just puts up my hand. Even me?
Ah, poor boy. Yes. The guild in particular.
I haven't been in the guild for that long, and I'm already in the guild. I mean, sure, I killed a guy on my first day, but
There's nothing wrong with that. I
make
imagine
it sound like it's normal.
it is. It is very normal. Everyone here has killed somebody.
No, being hated by a guild so early.
Oh, well, to be fair, it has nothing to do with your guild in particular, but having to do with actions performed by members of your guild, from what I understand. I do keep an eye on things. But yes, the Night Mistress and I have been allies for a bit. It's a loose alliance at best, but, well, we do have need of the alliance. And at the moment, I do happen to be in possession of her godson, and again, he looks towards Aki, who just kind of, you know, Aki's blue eyes is kind of narrow a bit, and he's kind of looks like he wants to shrink, but not in a I'm scared way, more of an I am trying to control my anger kind of way.
I see.
Why is he angry? Point.
Because he can't lie.
Oh.
And has to be told has to tell the truth due to a curse on him. I would be angry too.
I
Do you like the tea that you make?
Uh, Aki just kind
Fair
of looks at
question.
Ralthor and says, "It is all right."
Oh, okay.
And Lograth seems to be chuckling just a bit. I was like, well, yes. He is quite cursed. The poor boy.
So yes, this guild.
Yes.
How can you help?
Well, as I said, I am in a loose alliance with the Night Mistress. I can go and have a few words with her, ask her if she can call off her, I forget what the term she has for her. Her favorite soldier, perhaps? The one that she sent to the back to the material plane to interface with the guild?
Oh yes, that one.
Oh, yes, the warlock. You probably don't want to be dealing with her very anytime soon.
Just to clarify, it's the one with the weird horse mask, right?
Well, yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Not
cool.
the brightest bulb, but
To celebrate the Night Mistress. The Night Mistress does have a, well, I guess you would call her kind of horse-like.
Nay.
She's quite interesting if you've ever met her.
Yes, quite. Though there's going to be a cost for this, isn't there?
Well, yes.
What
And
is
what
the
would that
cost?
Considering how far away Bellavor is at this point from the rest of you, I do find myself in need of another familiar within your group.
Beast will point towards Rhiannon's shoulder and say, "Don't you already have one?"
Oh, that's not a familiar. That's simply well, I guess you could call it a spy protector of some kind.
A spy?
Still works the same way.
No, it does not. Not for me.
No, he wants a puppet.
No,
like
familiars
Bellavor.
are not puppets. They have other uses.
Yeah, plaything.
Oh, I've already got some playthings. At which point you see Aki kind of scrunching again. Kind of looking again like he wants to be angry but controlling it.
Oh, I know.
What benefits would this familiar have?
Well, that is a good question now, isn't it?
Yes.
The bigger question is, what sort of power would the familiar wish to be bestowed upon them? I mean, people have been coming to me for a long time, looking for power, and there was even a world for a while that tried to worship me as a god, which I did not find very appealing. I do not like being called a god. There's some that do, but I do not.
What is the price of power worth your shackles?
Divine shackles.
Immaterial, but strings of which you may hold some control over.
Well, it's not the same for all warlocks.
I do as I please. As
Oh,
long as
but
I help mine, he's more than happy to watch.
but
That's
see,
what they do.
that is pretty much the same for virtually all warlocks, to some degree or another.
Right.
How about seeing I kind of, or rather James, kind of got us in this mess. And we don't get along too well. How about we better our relationship?
I don't know if I like the idea of any of us becoming a warlock to this one.
If there is anyone who won't listen to him, I mean, also the other half of the group already has a patron at this point, I think.
Well, yes, several of you do. I believe Biddy hasn't quite taken his patron vows yet, but he does hold the sword. I
Yes,
can
we
see
made
it
a
on
deal of that.
Adler there. And of course, this one, and he gestures towards Galmil. I can see the mark of the old ones upon you.
Oh, yes.
Is
Oh,
he talking about Charlie?
no, Charles is a pet. The watch is the one that watches.
That's even creepier.
Oh, you're giving her ideas.
Oh god, shivers.
This is strictly gonna interject.
Both are so
Uh,
cute.
Does this deal include creepy tentacles? Because then I'm out.
Tentacles? What do I look like? I am not an old one like that. And he gestures towards Galmil.
Like I would know.
He's got a point.
I am ancient, but I am not an old one. Old ones are even older than I am.
interject a part of this to the deal. If we take this, and if Beast is sure about this,
I mean, I don't quite like it, but
I want his
I
free
am
will to be
kind
his
of
own.
responsible.
Everyone's free will is their own. I don't channel. I don't overwhelm them, if that's what you're talking about. But I do give incentives to my familiars about, potential power and other things. And occasionally I will give them instruction.
Is there a chance that you'll someday turn Beast against us if we do go through with this deal?
Depends on if you've turned against me.
Oh, touche.
Also, if I may, could I add a little? Could you do me a favor as well, if we were to go through with this?
Well, considering this already is the favor now, isn't it?
It's true, but you did quite go around messing with my friend's memories, didn't you?
It's better
So
than
you
killing her
can-
now, isn't it?
Sure.
Because I did consider killing her. She was
Yeah.
quite an annoyance to me, but I decided to be a bit kinder than that.
How about I just stay here? I can stay here, it'll be fine.
If anything, I don't want you alone here with that person.
I will be fine.
Mm,
Feywild deals are binding.
Yeah.
If he were
To
to
be
break
fair,
it,
Vlograth puts up a hand at that. To be fair, dealing with me is not the same as dealing with things in the Feywild. I am just currently living here. I am not actually of the Feywild. I do predate it, actually.
The
Yes.
dragon, I don't think he goes by their rules.
it'll be fine.
mm,
I don't want anybody binding themselves to him that doesn't want to. And if it's about my safety, I don't want to.
You're looking at this the wrong way, Rhiannon.
Also,
He's
can we
buying
take on that
into
person
you.
that we're attacking? Or, well, that's attacking us. Can we even take that person on?
That's a good question. I calculate that the odds of it are, yes, if all of you work together, you might be able to stop her and her forces. However, it is quite likely that some, or at least half of you, might die in the process.
Adler's just like, if it's for a good cause,
Yes, I imagine that you would think so. But I'm talking about the sort of power that a particular warlock can wield. Also, if you were to take down a soldier of the Night Mistress, the Night Mistress would then be your enemy.
And then we'd
Really
have to
only
take
enemy
on
we
her,
have.
wouldn't we?
At which point, even Aki starts to laugh. Aki makes that snickering thing. He's like, whatever anger he was suffering is now gone into the humor, and he's just.
Look, think of it this
And
way.
Log-
Lograth
really
is
bad.
snickering too.
If
Don't laugh, this is
Boy.
scary shit.
Boy,
We-
the Night Mistress is an archfey.
Look,
Yes.
we either give off Rhiannon and still have at least half of us die, or we just make this deal and are done with it. I mean, not really done with it, but I would presume better off, if anything.
I'm just curious about something. What would happen if everyone just forgot about the Night Mistress?
There are something. Sorry, the Lograth actually looks over at Gamel for that. That is an interesting thought. However, while I know that your old ones can deal with certain things temporarily, there are certain other things that would take even more power than even the old one, a single old one can generate. To
Oh, I know.
to do
Can't
something like
remember
that.
someone if you're not alive. Isn't that right, Aki?
Aki just kind of looks over at him, narrows his eyes.
And since I'm behind Galmil, I will wave behind Galmil. Like it's Aki.
Aki lifts a brow and actually waves back at Ralph.
Ralph, you want
Dude, I'm telling you, there is something in this tea.
Rhiannon will step up.
Don't. That's not a good idea.
doubt. Especially next to doubt everything.
Look, if you do that, we're still gonna lose people. I'd rather just make this deal than lose people.
That's what I'm doing. If you give me great power, you will also give me great knowledge, correct?
But of course.
Then the deal is made. And she'll step up.
Wait, what just happened?
You
Well,
keep hands safe.
It's like Rhiannon apparently wants to take him on as a patron. Kind of like, pulls out his good hand and kind of, clasps hers for a moment. This is your choice, dear Rhiannon.
Just do it.
All right then. And I would like Rhiannon to roll a 1d100 for me.
Oh.
Let's hope Low's good.
How
see.
much health would he have?
A lot.
Don't even! For real!
Oh, don't worry, I've been thinking about this for a while. Ever since we entered this room.
Yeah.
God damn, guys.
That thought's been going through my head. Don't worry. You're not the only
I
one.
don't think we want two gods against us. You know? That would be
Technically not
bad.
gods.
I am Ralph.
Yeah, that turned out to be very funny.
Oh,
So-
this is gonna be fun.
So as you hold your hand, you feel, something just kind of lance through your body and into your mind, and you just kind of feel possibilities opening up for you, and it's almost too much, and you realize that there's something you're going to need soon if you're going to keep from staring into the abyss too long. Like, there's so much knowledge, and you can read everything, but know so much, but if you do, it's just going to completely strip your mind away, and the only way to cope with that is, well, something that one of your party has been into for a while.
She's gonna immediately go up to Ralthor and be like, hey, you got anything to drink?
I got this tea that's infused with rum.
That'll work. Can I have a sip?
Hands over the flask.
She just starts drinking.
Beast will
It's
look
kind of
suspiciously-
old, by the way.
Beast will look suspiciously at Lo.
I'm gonna insight check to see if I can figure out what the hell is going on with Rhiannon. Nope.
Ralph will also insight, since she wants to drink out of my flask that has rum. Oh,
Biddy's gonna incite his
God.
fury. This is odd.
I mean, she's drinking. Well, actually, I've never heard of her drink before. So.
I mean,
You know, we're all inciting, why not?
maybe, it's
Maybe
men,
the
so
long
I'm
shot
not-
will be right. Nope.
Yeah, oh wait, no.
She just really wanted to drink. That's all. That's it.
You're
I
so
like it how we have 3 8s. 3 8s!
No. What exactly did you do?
Well, She agreed to become one of my familiars. It'll be alright.
And then all of a sudden she turned into an alcoholic? Yeah, X'd out.
He waves a hand, and all of you except for Galmil need to roll. Galmil and actually Rhiannon at this point need to roll a wisdom saving throw.
Shite.
I knew
Mine,
gonna
right.
Adler and Biddy get to roll advantage on that.
I'm gonna go
Perfect.
kill this guy. I really just want to go.
Alright, that's good. That's one down.
Ralthor, you have no memory.
And that's two down.
Yeah, Ralthor, you have no memory of ever stepping through that portal. As far as you're concerned, everybody else stepped through that portal. You went to it, and now everybody is back in the Windstar Manor. And for some reason, a red-haired man is also there with you.
So, what happened, guys? I, for some reason, couldn't make it to the portal. In time. I guess time works differently in the Feywild.
Why is Aki here?
Don't question it.
And some
Who
of
is
you
this?
are meeting this guy for the first time, and you see a young man, maybe around 18. He's got, he looks more or less human. He's got human-shaped ears and everything, but he's got kind of a sharpness to his features that kind of indicate that maybe he has some elven heritage in there. Piercing blue eyes, short red hair, about 6 feet tall, wearing all black, including a black breastplate.
Ralthor is going to lean over to Rhiannon. I'm guessing the little imp is on her shoulder now also. He's going to lean over to Rhiannon, speaking infernal, asking who the hell is that, while also making direct eye contact with Aki and waving.
I'm gonna change back to Jim.
Jim Branson.
That should be there should be an F in there, so.
It's Aki. Or Aki.
Question:
He nods.
Who here does not remember the Feywild?
Ralthor puts his hand up.
I remember.
Wait, I didn't get into the Feywild. Never mind. Ralthor puts his hand out.
Ralthor, you suddenly realize that your flask is missing, and that Rhiannon is holding it.
She's actually finishing it off and like shaking it a little bit.
Stop! Hey, see.
Actually, you gave it to him.
Yeah,
She'll
you.
hand it back.
Change
Welcome
back.
to the-
There's like empty nothing. What?
Welcome to the Feywild, where you leave, you may not remember anything. Where are you even going?
Rhiannon's gonna get up and head to the kitchen.
Ralph's also gonna
Come back
do the
here.
same thing. Oh,
And apparently she's an alcoholic now. That's fun.
Ralph's gonna follow so he can make a fresh new batch of tea.
Okay.
Yes?
Why exactly are you here? By the way, Jim Branson.
Well, I've been sent along to keep an eye on things, in case Godmother's warrior decides to take matters into her own hands. I am supposed to talk to her. Hopefully it won't come to that, but if it does, I can talk with her. And he sighs.
Oh, that doesn't work. We can always have a chit-chat with Charles.
Is that your pet, so to speak?
Yes, he's always hungry. I mean, literally, always hungry. I can never feed him enough.
What is he?
Don't know! Can never see him.
No.
You see this weird look come across Aki's face. He doesn't know how
I
to
know
respond to that.
He's got milky white tentacles. Does that help?
Not particularly.
He's good at party parties. That's all I know.
And Rhiannon now has control over the imp. Yeah, I was thinking the same thing, Ralthor. But I think I think Aki's thinking the same thing, and he's not sure how to feel about that.
But don't worry. If Lograf is, well, capable, I'm sure he will succeed. If Night Mistress,
Well, it all depends on Godmother. Whether
yes,
she wishes to listen to him or not.
hopefully she does, for her ward's sake.
But he's just like, honestly, I just want to. You know what? It'll be fun to kill someone.
We protect
Like that.
ourselves, and that's all we will do. You have my word, Aki. We won't. Unless they engage us. That seem fair to you?
Well, I really don't have much of a choice now, do I, in any of this? I'm just kind of stuck here for now.
My question is, how long is Rhiannon going to be an alcoholic?
She kicks back some more wineskin.
Possibly forever. I imagine that when she took on the role of familiar, or if you prefer warlock, for the Dark Prince, that
I prefer magically gifted.
well, it's not. He sighs. Well, see, the Dark Prince unfortunately has a bit of madness about him when it comes to sharing power.
It's fine.
Oh,
Oh,
No,
good.
it's not.
Get rid of one alcoholic, get another one. Good.
Is it the curse of this party to have an alcoholic?
No, the curse of this party is to keep making bad choices until things go wrong.
It was to do that, or you would be in danger. I did the right thing. It's fine.
Mm,
It's
Yeah.
fine.
I'm sorry, those hiccups. God damn.
there's some doubt there, but
It's fine.
It is now evening.
Constitution saving throw.
The servants come out and start bringing food towards the table. The rest of the Windstar clan comes filing in and looking around at the fact that there's seems to be more people here now. We have another guest. Aeolus kind of looks over at Viren and Biddy and Adler.
Wait, when did Varen get back?
He's been standing here.
Wait, what? Rip.
Shakaka.
This is
I look
Aki.
like-
He's a friend.
I don't even know who Aki is.
Actually, he kind of looks over towards Relthor. Yeah, that's a long story, I think.
About a 30 minutes of a story. But, you know.
He's he's got a black breastplate, a black it looks more like a coat than a cloak because it's kind of draped over his breastplate, and he's also got black gloves on. He doesn't seem to be moving even as food is being served.
Does anyone know where Will is?
One of the servants who's finishing putting down the thing says, Will, is that little gnome?
Yes.
Indeed.
The one that never can be seen.
He's been known to sleep outside if he isn't sneaking up on people. Shall we go rustle the bushes to see if he's there?
I'll go find him. Vader will go.
Let's just sit down.
Well,
Don't scare me like that, Jesus. Oh, God.
There you are. Dinner, if you want.
What are they serving?
Let's
I didn't
see. We have 2 kinds of roast meats, various kinds of vegetables, a platter of fruit, some nice bread, and some kind of soup course.
AKA mansion food.
I'll have the critters bring me some snacks. I'll stay out here, stay watch.
You really shouldn't be out here, Will.
Why not?
It's dangerous. It's dangerous.
I'm the danger.
Fine.
Don't worry, I'll be fine. If you hear a striking, it probably was me.
Are you still interested in going back to Peleos's tonight? She already said that she told you about what he had told me?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I'll have a look at it.
Okay. I will be with you when we go, probably after dinner.
Perfect.
She'll go back inside.
And you like see him giving an order to like a squirrel, like bring me nuts.
Bring nuts now!
Bring me nuts! She'll go back.
He's like shaking the squirrel mafia from now.
Nut shakedown.
You heard me. I said salted.
You brought me honey roasted.
These are almonds. I didn't ask for almonds.
Anyway. So, the meal is served. The majority of you, except for Will, who for some reason wishes to be alone, are having a fine dinner at the table. Grandpa Windstar and Mother Windstar are both there. And Aki is sitting there on one seat, looking, well, mildly uncomfortable from the looks of things, from what you can tell so far. And he's just eating quietly and occasionally glancing at the rest of you.
Rathor is deep staring at Aki. For some reason, I had something in my throat.
Aki kind of looks up from his food and stares back at Ralthor.
Stares more intensely.
One side of his face turns into a slight smirk as he looks Ralthor up and down.
Rathor will also try to hold back a smirk, but it's starting to come out. And he's not blinking, thinking that it's a staring eye contest.
Aki kind of chuckles and goes back down to his food.
You may have won this round.
Wait, what?
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 What are you two doing?
Nothing. Nothing. Drops a piece of chicken on the ground for Cinder.
Oh, is he telling you about that demon lord that took him over?
Wait, what?
What?
Hold up a second.
What?
Aki kind of looks
Where did this come
over
from?
Demon Lord?
Yeah, you were talking about that, like, Alaris stuff, and, like, you know, there was some, demon lord that, like, took over Barovia, and, you know...
Yes.
All that's...
Yes, Yes, there's a demon lord that has taken over a demiplane called Barovia, which occasionally sheds out copies of itself, including one that I recall is here on this world.
Yes.
I think I might need to take back drinking after hearing that.
It is he kind of glances back towards Ralthor. Don't worry, it's a bit complex. Blograth was speaking in great length about it to Rhiannon over there and to Phaedra as well, if I recall her name right.
Huh? I met with who?
Oh, right, Dark Prince. Yes, I should be calling him that. I'm just used to saying his name. And Aki kind of closes his eyes for a moment and sighs.
Sorry about that. Sorry.
Well, I don't. Rhiannon let me read some of her book. I don't remember anything of that conversation. She knows more than I would.
Well,
And she seems a bit drunk right now, and I don't know what's going on.
A bit drunk?
I mean, I'm a dwarf, to be fair, so a bit drunk. I've seen worse.
I mean, I can explain. If you wish.
you
Okay.
can explain if you wish. That would be good.
I'm gonna use Awaken
What
Mind so that way the grandfather and the servants and the mother don't hear this.
It's pretty much everybody but Will, unfortunately, in the party. Will's the only one who's being left out of this.
Yeah.
Will, you need to come in and join the group at some point so you know things.
Oh, you see.
I refuse to know things.
You can't make me learn knowledge.
Fair enough, Will. Fair enough.
Denial is a state of being.
The deal was that Lograf wanted a warlock. It was that, or he would hide Rhiannon temporarily, and the odds of us successfully dealing with the Night Mistress's individuals were apparently not in our favor. And if we did,
GM will note this is the first mention you were most of you were hearing about the Night Mistress is connection to this situation.
yes, and would also get her ire. Well, we already seem to have someone else. I'd rather not. As much as I dislike the fact that we're currently in this situation, we now have
So-
a drunk Rhiannon warlock.
What?
Madness is a son of a bitch.
Coming from you, yeah, definitely.
It's perfectly fine for me. I'm the best person here. But
Yes, Jim Burnson is the best person here.
Sure. Say
I'm
that.
fine. I'm fine.
Sure, you say that, but there are many
Fine.
things that contradict that.
Have I hurt any of you?
oh,
That's
emotionally.
not what.
I didn't hear what you said.
He said only emotionally, with sarcastic tone in his
Aw.
telepath mind.
Fader turns to Rhiannon in Awaken Mind. And they call you the smart one? Why? Rhiannon just shrugs. I figure it was better to protect the group. And he promised me knowledge.
Yeah.
And she takes a swig from her wineskin.
Madness doesn't seem to dissuade this one from knowledge, as I learned firsthand.
She kind of shrugs her shoulder as she's like kicking back some wine. When she finishes, he told me some things about Baldur's Gate. I did figure out what the Sea Mother is. And she's kind of like slurring her words a little bit, but she's still. Actually, is she? Hold on.
You're using Awakened Mind, so it can go either way.
Yeah, she's fine. Apparently, it is a giant sea monster kraken thing.
Oh,
And has a power of toxicity and lightning.
fun so far.
That's he just warned that it was a lot more dangerous than if she was to awaken, which we kind of already knew. but mainly he had a lot more information regarding this gate again. And about Barovia and the Demon Lords.
Oh.
I feel we're going to have to open it at some point. I don't think we're going to have a choice.
I thought the consensus was we wouldn't open that gate.
Yeah, well, there's a problem with time now because of this mirror. Phaedra doesn't remember, but apparently she was talking about in her world before she came to this plane or this world. She was on a mission to stop a device of sorts that would capture souls of the dead that had died in that land. I believe she said it was Chult? And it was apparently located in the city of Omu. She had also mentioned that at another time she had met 2 other individuals that claimed to be from an area called Barovia. That there was something else similar there, keeping souls, known as some sort of a soulmonger. This tomb where this device was located apparently doesn't exist anymore on her plane of existence. And
At this point, Aki raises a hand and says, "No, it was. It exists on her plane of existence, but shouldn't. It's because it's a reflection of something that hasn't happened yet."
correct. Apologies. And she swishes the wine in her wineskin. Point being, time is reflecting back in on itself and causing problems. It could... Lograth said it's happening at a faster rate than what was expected. And it could have other... Here. Aki had talked about...
Aki perks up at hearing his name.
You had talked about, or apologies, Lograth had talked about Barovia, the original, the Alpha Barovia, that there was a demon resetting the time, correct?
Yeah, he has apparently reset it multiple times. When I was there, I learned about it. We on the outside, before we came to Barovia, David's theories were simply that there was a time dilation factor involved in Barovia between that and our world. But when we were inside, we learned the truth that time keeps resetting there. That it's been a few hundred years since the last reset, but the last time we were there, but it may have been reset since we left, even though that was, from my perspective, only a few months ago. Time does dilate in the Feywild, so I'm not sure about this time.
And this demon that's been resetting time, you spoke of one that apprenticed it? Called the Demon's Pupil, correct?
Yes, but that one is also known by another name.
Which we shouldn't... Well, oh, yeah, I guess it's
in Awakened Mind. So, that one has also been known in prophecy as the Messiah of Demons. Yeah, I know, right
yeah.
now.
Yeah.
So this last time the other came, but it's like, oh god, now we're coming to the point where you're learning it at the same time in this game.
Oh wow.
I chose not to get that information whenever we were having this conversation. She's just like, oh, well, I'm going to leave this out because it'll give away something in the other campaign. I'm like, okay, well, let's skip over it. And it happened, yes.
Yeah.
This is fine.
Yeah, so the only one lost is Jesse, but that's okay.
This is fine.
Yes.
Oh wait, not BB Biddy. God damn it. Anyway.
Yes, the also known as the Messiah demons, according to old prophecies. The one who attempted to kill and harvest me 10 years ago in Pine Valley.
Yes, Phaedra perked up about something in Pine Valley. Called Little Rin? Some Little Rin. I don't know. She was felt very warmly towards it. I don't know. It was something said in passing. I don't know if it's important.
For those of you who actually remember playing in the short-lived Pine Valley campaign,
Little Rin.
Aki here was a kid then. He was 8 in that game.
Yeah.
Little Aki.
But anyway, this is just information. While I was there, I did actually get to commune with my god. The reasoning for him giving all this knowledge, he wants something out of this. It's not just for our benefit.
Well, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. And to be careful with him. But I figured sharing this with you would be important. And then she just downs the rest of her wine.
Alcoholic move.
Aki kind of looks over at the rest of the party and says, I can attempt to fill in other blanks if you need them.
Rhiannon gives like a thumbs up as she's like drinking her skin.
One question right now.
He nods.
We've been... Our current time predicament. Is this before something else opens that gate, or something before the gate needs to be opened?
I don't know for certain. I'm not an expert on these things. David would have had much more of an understanding, but he stayed behind with Godmother. From what I can sort of ascertain, as I said, I don't know if I'm understanding this properly, so I will try to repeat what I heard as much as possible. From what I understand, the time is somehow reflecting back, and it is reflecting much further advanced events. Lugrath said something about how the tomb that Phaedra apparently was investigating shouldn't even exist in its prime location, the originating location, as he uses the term. I'm not entirely sure what he means by this. And Aki just kind of shakes his head at that. Isn't going to be completed for another 100 years at least. That the way that it is finished with the Soulmonger and everything is still in the future. In its prime location, which means that the only way it can exist now in some other location is because time already reflected it back via the mirror dimension or mirror plane.
Oh, I remember something else. Rhiannon will speak up and kind of be very loud. Something about the creature entering through portals causes crystals to form. I don't know what that means, but anyway, and she goes back to drinking.
Wait, did she say that out loud, or...?
It awakened mind.
she could have said it out loud.
Might that have something to do with the gold in Waterdeep, like way long?
So the crystals that we dealt with were because of this creature.
Yeah, something with the creature. She's the one that spawns the crystals, and it's whenever she enters in through a portal or something, crystals form. I don't know, something with the crystals, and she goes back to.
I love it how she. Oh. I love it how she has to stop drinking to think.
Jim Branson's going to stand up. Well, I have some studying to do. It was a good meal. Do I need to stay around for any longer, or are we having any more? Oh,
AKA, is that dessert?
no, okay, do we need to wake in mind? He wants to do some studying.
At this point, Shiori, you hear a voice in your head.
Oh, good.
Mr. Shiori, this is Talon. Crystals have returned. Grick is researching. The guild is in danger.
Just immediately just stops.
Phaedra notices. Are you okay?
Through Wake in Mind still, because Gamma hasn't left. Because he noticed that interaction. Eyes go wide. Talon, just got a message through to us. Apparently, the crystals are returned. And the guild's in danger. Grick's researching.
Oh, good.
Damn it.
So at this point, you notice that Ralthor seems to be attempting to use sign language on the group of you instead of talking out loud.
Look, I'm new to this, okay? This is the first time hearing about crystals. So...
Maybe you should explain. And points over to Ralthor. Sure.
There were, best I can put it, virulent crystals that were used by a cult, and touching them would infect you with some sort of, depending on the crystal, it seemed like a desire or regret, slowly turning you into, from what I could tell, some sort of crystalline creature. You still looked like you, but your skin would change color, you'd get crystalline gross, and it would spread from person to person. The whole temple was lost to it.
So I'm guessing the tavern is closed? I presume, hopefully?
Don't know. All I know is that it's been apparently returned, and Grick is researching more about why it's returned. And more about the crystals.
How did you guys get rid of it the first place?
We dealt with the cult. We assumed they were the ones bringing it. But now with Rhiannon's information, seems like it won't stop until we can deal with all of this.
So I'm guessing the next thing we're doing at some point is going back to the tavern to help them?
As soon as we can get out of this town, as soon as we can deal with the issues in this town. Unless you guys wish to return, I will not stop you.
I mean, what else do we have to do in this town?
I personal business. That's my only real issue here.
Well, we could sort that out probably as quickly as possible.
That would be optimal. Yes.
Ratha's make... Trying to.
Kind
Well-
of why I thought of see if we can use it some sort of distraction. I know. James. I saw him summon an illusionary dragon at one point when we were fighting the giants. Didn't
Yes.
do any damage.
Didn't work very well, really.
No, but we can fool enough of the guard to be less guarding the target. Guarding thrice.
Wouldn't it be easier to do it in like a public event where he isn't in his home, defended by all his...
And what would happen if we attacked him in the middle of a public event while many spectators were there?
We could announce
We would
his
be
crimes.
implemented.
Yeah, I mean, do you want to kill him without anyone knowing that we did it?
Thrice I don't care, but he has information we need, apparently. The Lord Protector, I honestly feel like he just needs to be removed completely. I just don't want to ruin the reputation of anyone here.
To be fair, don't we have bigger problems?
We have a lot of problems.
Sorry.
Lovely net one there.
If she was gonna
Oh
do
my god!
I was trying to see if she was smart enough to ask a question, and the answer is no.
No.
She not only did she not
Definitely
answer the
not.
question, she hasn't actually heard anything that's been going on the last couple of minutes. Not even an awakened mind. She's just been staring at her plate.
Oh
Alrighty.
god.
Alrighty.
How pretty is the plate, Phaedra?
Beautiful. It's absolutely gorgeous.
I mean, we have to deal. We have the Sea Mother. We have your guild, which might be dealt with now. Apparently, we have this. Apparently, this crystals.
Don't we also have like the rings?
That seems to be tied with the crystals. It seems to be tied to that plane of the gate of knowledge, which seems to be tied to that mirror plane in some sense.
The question is, do we care enough about the troubles in this town to waste our
Yes.
time here instead of working
Yes.
The Windstar's family is directly affected by this, so. And I know it's selfish, but
It's not selfish. Phaedra will chime in.
this is the closest I've been to being near thrice.
Okay, then, if that's the case, we need to come up with a plan, and I know we shouldn't rush this, but we should consider that we are on some sort of time pressure.
Okay. Should I go get Will then?
Yes.
He would. Okay. Phaedra will go get Hey, Will! Are you done with your nuts?
What? That's not a personal question.
That's a personal question.
God. God.
I love you, Will.
Oh, let's get attention.
Oh wow.
Phaedra just laughs. Come on, we're. Come on, just get inside.
Alright, and then there's a joke there too, but I didn't take it.
Oh God!
Oh God.
Oh.
Oh boy.
So let's come up with a plan. So we want to dethrone this guy, right? Do we need to? Yeah. Do we want to kill him, or might there be a way to not kill him and still get our stuff done? Because maybe we're just way too willing to jump to murder here.
Death isn't needed, but I don't think it's going to be easy to just detain him either.
My curiosity, since it was mentioned right now, Adler, I believe it was you. Sorry if it was somebody else. I couldn't tell who it was. But what investment do the Windstars have? I know that Biddy had received a reading from the seer, same as Shiori, but we never really got a whole lot of what.
Aki kind of looks around at you guys at that point. Seer?
Fortune teller.
Rhiannon at this point. You mean, Thorn?
Aki kind of lets out a sigh.
Wait, that was...
Yeah, apparently it was Thorn!
Oh, fucks.
Of course it was, but he just like kind of thought so.
Yeah,
To be
she's like a little trickster thing and a tricksy cat
Yes.
thing.
Trickster, traveler.
But she is also extremely
Master
helpful.
manipulator, Aki comments with.
Also extraordinarily helpful.
Phaedra will pipe up. She brings people together and helps us on the right path, so I don't think that she is nefarious by any means. Wait, she would not know that word. She's gonna say bad. That's way too big of a word for her.
See, you are smarter than Phaedra.
Hey!
Hey! Everyone give an applause! Sorry.
Going back to the track, what are we going to do now? We want to get him out of power, right? That's the goal?
That's the goal for him, yes.
Okay. Anyone have any ideas on how to do that?
My
Surprise
son...
lightning strike.
Placing it wouldn't be a bad idea. Denouncing him wouldn't be a bad idea.
Then how about we go look for his son?
Probably at the keep, more likely.
Yeah, because
so.
if he's going to be a part of this, he needs to be an.
I agree. We have to be careful. The Centarum are all around.
Aki kind of looks
Testing.
Aki kind of looks over at his dessert plate that people have been bringing out, and kind of looks over again and says, "Tell me about these readings you guys went through."
She looks at the others and, like, Should make an insight check on Aggie. She's not sure. She's never met him, to be fair. Oh, that's the wrong character, but that's the right character stat.
Yeah. He's the way he's staring at you. It's incredibly impassive. It's just those blue eyes, and otherwise fixed face, just almost like a statue, just staring at you.
Someone poke him!
Well, I don't know about Biddy's, but mine was following. The person I'm looking for lives in a land of corruption that sucks life away. A treacherous soul works for someone evil and treacherous as him. One tried to avenge, but wanted information. Should stay their hand. Location: north in a corrupt land serving a corrupt leader. Well, it's a combination of two, but that's having to do with thrice.
And with this leader you're trying to depose?
Well, he works for the Lord Protector, Lord Neverember?
I never remember.
Lord Neverember, we've come to find out, has apparently been using Zentarum to force non-humans specifically, to leave their homes and businesses and go to the Chasm District, which is apparently not a very good place normally, and also even worse now that we're growing there that shouldn't grow, and things that should grow don't grow.
He kind of narrows his eyes at that. What exactly does that mean?
Don't know, some sort of corruption.
His face is kind of stiffened. Yes, sorry, that has a bad connotation where I come from.
That's not a good connotation in any way.
What connotation does it mean where you come from?
Well, it makes me think of the one who tried to kill me when I was a child. One of her nicknames was the Corruptor.
Is that the pupil
Yes.
Rhiannon was talking of?
Although, last I heard, she was contained. So it probably has nothing to do with her. It makes me think. I've been a bit skittish since all of this.
Understandable.
May I ask, why is Aki here?
He told us. He said
Yeah, we already went past
Yeah,
that.
Aki kind of looks over at Valthor. Says, "Oh, you don't like me?"
No, I just can't remember.
Well, I was sent along mostly to make sure the situation between you guys and the Shadow Thieves separates amicably, perhaps? Or at least does not get any worse?
Yes. We're gonna have to deal with that on top of everything else.
So we're planning on getting the sun then, and formulating a plan. Correct?
Seems so, as far as I can tell.
Yeah.
We can give him some of the information that Gamel knows. And it doesn't seem like he was already very pleased with his father, so it shouldn't be hard to convince him that he's not exactly a good person. The question is, are we... Even if we renounce him, he's got more control than legally he probably should. Corrupt guards, more than likely. I don't think there's going to be anything but a fight going on ahead. I don't feel like it's going to go anything but that way.
There are
Yeah,
always
but-
ways to work. Sorry, you go.
Yeah, but there is being in a fight with him and 5 people who follow him, and being in a fight because we randomly attacked one of the lords.
Exactly.
It's probably best to get the people on our side before we do anything.
In a way that won't cause a riot.
No,
Yes.
the opposite, in the way that causes a riot. And that's what we're planning.
We don't want
So-
to... Wait, I'm confused now.
I'm confused. Are we going back to revolution?
No.
But we want the people to not like the Lord, because
Yes, but that
if they
them not
do,
liking the Lord
we're
does
just
not
gonna be... Yeah,
Yeah.
we just need to convince the people, like, the Lord is not a good dude, so that they won't throw us in jail after we murder him. You know,
Yeah.
because that will not be good for us.
Agreed. I'm
As long
just
as it
was
doesn't-
confused when you were talking about writing. I
Yeah.
associate that with revolution.
I mean, I
Peace.
can always, once he's fallen, too, start spreading the information of the memory
Wouldn't it be
Mm,
better to do that front?
to those who at least want to be aggressive toward us.
I feel like a little pre-game on that is important as well.
Oh, yes.
Plant those.
Yeah, because if they catch us before you can implant that into everyone's head, we're just gonna be in jail and you won't be able to do it.
Oh, I won't be with you. Sorry about that.
Mm-hmm.
I can be somewhere else, though. Anyone else. Even a god, per se. Be with you, but not with you, if that makes sense.
Indeed, it does. Says Biddy as he starts to stand up. Now, if you'll excuse me, I need to check something. You will, wait, not that way. Give me a second. Which way do I walk? This way. And he will start walking away.
Alright, what are the rest of you guys doing?
Seems like
Nighttime, right?
Yeah, the evening is settling in out there. You guys have had a nice good meal. It's dark outside.
Phaedra's gonna suggest that we go back to Paleosis.
It's a long, fairly decent walk. Hi, Jim Brenton. And I'm gonna go study.
I'm going to
Did-
drink. And Brianna walks
did you
off.
say Paleos? What?
Your tiefling friend. Do you want to come?
Yeah, yes, 100%, yes.
Okay. You gotta be
I want
quiet
to go.
and just be careful, okay?
What do we have to be careful about? I thought you guys fixed that when you guys went into the portal.
Galen's going there.
You should always be careful, Ralthor.
Yes.
Yes, it makes sense to be careful.
And yeah. Phaedra's gonna go grab Will and just say, "Are you ready?"
Yeah, I'm not sure why you grabbed me.
Unhand me!
She just kind of like looks down, like holding Will's like shoulder, and she's like, "Yeah, I don't know either." And she just like lets go and like walks
Yeah.
off.
As GM, I imagine it's because Will keeps vanishing on you, and you wanted to make sure he was actually with you.
Fair enough.
Is this the real Will?
Yeah. Or is this just? Oh, I got Queen stuck in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ditto.
And make way to high on the wall.
Is this the real hell, or is this just a fancy gnome?
Yeah, Cinder's here.
Yeah.
It's Phaedra. Cinder follows Phaedra.
Still kinda don't trust it.
I trust it.
You don't trust little dragon.
I have a rat.
Rhiannon
I don't want it to eat my rat.
Rhiannon is an imp. The imp is more likely to eat your rat.
That makes me more scared now. Thank you.
Thank you! Come again!
Yeah, that imp is
Go
like
ahead.
sitting on your horns too at times. Anyway,
No.
Won't be doing that many more times.
This is the third time today you've shown up at this store. The store has a closed sign on it, but you still see a bit of a light glowing in through the window.
Phaedra will walk up to the door and give it a light tap.
After a minute, your silver tiefling friend comes up to the door, pushes it open.
Waves.
Ah, hello again. Third time today. I am very pleased to see you. Come on inside. Just kind of lets you all in and waves back at
She'll walk through the door?
Balthor.
Alright.
You said once the door is closed and everybody's inside, you said that you had something to show us
Yes.
regarding the chasm.
Yes, something most unusual. This way. And he escorts you into the back where you see some components for brewing teas and all sorts of stuff back there.
Do I smell the tea?
Just the
Like,
lingering
being
odor.
cooked.
Just the lingering odor from what you tasted earlier in the day.
Okay, easy enough.
So he leads you over to a trapdoor. He pulls it open, and there is a set of ladder basically going down into what looks like a a root cellar of some kind, something cold, something with a dirt floor. And he begins to head down it.
Phaedra will go down.
I'm guessing we're supposed to
Keep an eye
follow.
out.
Yeah, beast follows.
Will follows.
Ralthor almost jumps down.
Wouldn't
Cinder
suggest-
will fly down.
So, in the corner of this room, planted in the dirt floor, is what looks like several roses of some kind, growing there without any light, and the petals are completely black in color, as if they've been, withered and died, except they're in full bloom, from the look of things.
What did you say about the
That's not creepy.
And Peleus just looks over at the flowers and looks back at the rest of you. These are not entirely natural, from what I can tell.
You think?
What do you make of them, Will?
They don't look that. Hold on, I'll step up closer and I'll stand right next to him, like just inches from it. And, inspect it using nature.
Roll nature check.
That's not a good one.
Yeah, they're definitely some kind of rose, but beyond that, you can't tell.
Have you tried picking one?
Yes, tried drying it and some other stuff. It's the fact that it can grow in this soil and without any light. I know mushrooms can do that, but this is a rose.
I'm gonna pick one of the roses up.
Roll a constitution check for me.
Oof.
Was it
Okay.
a check? Not saving
Yep.
throw?
Oh no.
Check.
Ooh!
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, it seems to be fine. You're holding it in your hand, touched by one of the thorns, and it's just, a pretty rose that's otherwise black in color.
I'm gonna, is there a
Emo
table over here?
rose.
Can you repeat what you said, please, Will?
Is there a table over here?
Yeah, there's one off to the side.
I'm gonna go over to the table and
Good.
I'm gonna.
Yeah, various little things, made of wood. There's a mortar and pestle. There's even a retort there.
Oh, perfect. I'll take the mortar and pestle and I'll start churning the flour.
It seems to have a very what's the word for it? It's what we would think of it in real life like a silk or plastic kind of feel as you're attempting to to do what you do with the rose. Much tougher than normal pedaling.
Do I notice any liquids coming out?
No, it as you grind at it, it just seems to hold its shape. And even as you start pulling it out, it's more like, just dry. And not even cracking at that point.
It does not seem to be relying on water.
It is most unusual, Peleus confirms. I'm thinking of it as some kind of death rose. Because it's not supposed to be alive.
Have you tried eating one?
Oh, no. I suspect that it is toxic.
They're growing in his basement, or am I misunderstanding?
They're growing in the root cellar, where there's no light.
In his root cellar.
Yes.
Who else has access to the cellar?
Just him.
Then he must have brought them in some way, because they don't just magically appear.
Are you saying this to the group, or are you just talking out loud?
I'm saying this to the group, because the roses don't just appear somewhere. They come from like a seed, I think. So
Phaedra will turn to Peleos. You said you were running some experiments, though. Did you try to plant roses down here, and this is what happened, or what? Or did they just grow?
Originally, I was trying to plant some stuff outside. Like, I was digging up some of the dirt over here, putting it into a planter, and, putting it into a window so that I could grow some things. But the soil just has some weird properties. I tried testing them out. I decided to, attempt originally to put a light down here, thinking maybe sunlight was having an issue, and, grow it with another kind of light. Or maybe, something was going on with that. And after a while, I kind of forgot about them after a while. Because, nothing was happening with the light. And so, I got rid of the light. And then, after a while, I came back and discovered that they were growing in the dark.
But are these growing all over the Chasm district?
Not that I'm aware of. Just here.
you're saying it's the dirt?
I'm saying it's something. Some unusual property in the dirt. Other people have similar issues where they're not being able to grow the type of crops that they think, the type of things that they think they should be able to grow here in the Chasm district.
Will is going to walk over to another one of the plants. There are multiple plants, just one plant with multiple roses.
Multiple rose plants, but all appear to be the same.
And he will dig in with his hand down into the dirt and try to pick up the entire plant with roots and everything.
Alright. At this point, roll a Constitution saving throw.
Absolutely.
Where did you get the dirt?
Oh boy.
The dirt was here when I built this place.
Oh no.
So as you put your hand in, you come into contact with something sharp and pointy. It pokes right through your skin, and you take 2 points of poison damage.
You okay?
Yeah, just roses and their thorns. And
Never.
can I get the entire plant up, even though I took damage?
You can try again.
Phaedra will assist.
Alright. So both roll Constitution saving throws.
Poison advantage.
There's also piercing involved, but yeah.
That's Phaedra, not Cinder.
Okay.
Sorry.
Uh-huh.
I'm waiting for your second roll. Oh, no, sorry, the 12 is the second roll. Never mind. Brain. Yeah, so this time you managed to both of you pulling from either side, pull it up, and it's got a root structure, but it's covered in far more pointy thorns than it should. Because the roots are supposed to be completely clear of that, and they should only be on the stem, but in this case it extends all the way down the thorns and into a bulb at the bottom.
I'll take I empty out the mortar and pestle and start grinding out the roots.
Okay. So you take some of the roots and throw them into the mortar and pestle. Got it.
Yeah, I'm just trying to look for liquids.
Yeah. When you do get a bit of liquid, it is more of a rusty red color than anything else.
Okay. Could I collect some of that?
Sure.
I'd like to see if I can recognize what that red water is and what's the cause of it. If it's red water or if it's another liquid. Could I roll a nature check on that?
Sure.
God damn. +7 doesn't...
Will's tired, that's why.
You know, looking,
I mean,
looking at the bulb of this thing, you wonder if it's some kind of beet.
Alright, I have one more thing that I want to try out, but it might not end well.
Please don't eat it.
How... This room, is it like stone?
It is dirt with some stone, yeah, and a few things of wood.
Alright, is anyone here capable of, burning something if need be?
Just stares at you.
Don't burn down the person's shop.
Exactly. No, exactly. I'm going to try to see how a sudden growth spurt would hurt.
You can, make plants grow, right?
Mm-hmm. That's
Can
what I'm
you
going to try.
making another type of plant grow in the same dirt? To see whether or not it's the plant thing it's growing in?
That's a good idea. Do you have any other flowers around?
Well, I do have various seeds and bulbs upstairs.
Alright, well, bring me a free sample, please.
Alright. And Peleus heads up the steps.
I'm gonna sit down by the...
Stares at his tail as he goes up the steps.
Yeah, his tail's like flicking back and forth a little as he walks. He vanishes up the stairs and starts rummaging around up there while the rest of you guys are doing what?
Raffle's tail is going like a dog at the moment. Just left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right.
To answer your question, Will, I mean, I can technically add a fire element to a weapon.
Well, the idea is that if I make these plants grow and they become very nasty, it would be a good idea to get rid of them quickly.
I have a tinderbox and a torch. I can light one.
I should be fine. It's what's the worst that can happen? I'm just gonna grow some plants, right?
Right.
Oh, that's
Yeah, great.
Oh my god. Grizz
You
is
might
turning
want to-
evil.
Well,
What do you mean turning?
cool. We'll just torch it. Just torch it.
No, it's just that the way you said that. All of a sudden, I got images of Little Shop of Horrors and Day of the Triffids and all sorts of other
Alright.
very nasty plants things.
everyone get back up on the staircase.
We're gonna
plant me
star in a
seeds.
musical.
On the road, musical edition. Got it. Anyway,
Did you want a torch or not?
Yes.
so
Hand me a
Pelias
torch.
comes back down
Got it.
with a few seeds. All right,
Alright.
I have some for you.
I'm gonna
Phaedra
plant
lights
this-
the torch and gives it to Will.
Alright, I'm gonna usher everyone towards the staircase, and then I'm gonna plant the seeds around the room.
Phaedra's going to be behind you, but at the bottom of the stairs.
Yeah, I'm gonna go walk up on the staircase as well, which I assume is made of stone.
No, it's not a staircase. It's more of like a ladder going up to the trap door.
Oh wow, so everyone's on the ladder. Okay.
And it's a
No.
wooden
I'm on the
ladder.
ground with you.
In that case, yeah, I'm just standing in the corner of the room and just go, "Here we go!" And
I'm at the ground level. Still.
I
And-
cast plant growth, focus on the room.
And nothing happens, not even to the plants that are already there.
Interesting.
Yeah, that was supposed to make them grow quite rapidly.
And Pelios nods. Yes, it should have, but it doesn't. The properties here are very strange.
I'm not sure I would call these plants.
Yes,
Could this-
I agree with you on that.
Could this be magical and not... It has to be, right?
Hmm.
It's definitely not natural, and they're definitely organic in some way. I mean, but they're not alive.
Peleos. Could we borrow some sort of grab a sample where one of our more arcane-equipped people could run a test on?
If you wish, but I have run a few tests myself on these things,
Oh.
and it's not entirely magical per se. I mean, it doesn't respond to, the standard magical tests, if you know what I mean.
Okay.
It just has some unusual properties. I'm not sure how to put it. I want to say that as if something in the chasm intersected another plane, perhaps. The rules, the rules of this sort of thing, of biology and whatnot, are different on other planes. So something growing in the soil of another plane would react very differently than something growing in the soil here. And with that
Wow.
thought, we will take a 5-minute break.
Easy enough, scene 2.
Okie dokie.
Gosh darn.
I was expecting like just the swarm of plants. It's like, oh god.
Yeah.
+7 to nature check. Yeah, 12 and 10. Okay.
Yeah, that didn't go well. Oh well, we'll figure it out.
Next plan was dispel magic, but apparently that wouldn't work either.
And you can always take a sample and then like maybe let you check it in the morning when you're more wide awake.
Yeah. I think we should still grab a sample regardless.
Oh yeah.
As long as we can keep it contained.
Yeah, I'm thinking like a jar or like a barrel, something that we can, it's like you said, can contain. What?
A jar of dirt.
Yeah, like a jar of dirt is what we need.
Water.
I'm gonna grab a snack too. I'll be right back.
I'm back.
Welcome back.
So this is fun.
Indeed. Welcome back.
Welcome back, Sherry. Got myself a popper.
Did an introductory session for characters last night, and my players doing one of their own campaigns. First roll I rolled with my new die for my character, natural 5.
Perfect.
Next 3 rolls, all natural 20s. I'm like,
Oh.
It was on, like, the webcam was on, and you could see where I was rolling, and I just, as soon as I rolled it, I'm like, hands up. Didn't do it.
Not cheating, promise.
I grabbed a camera, and I just took a picture, and I'm like, this is ridiculous. The first time I was like, okay. The second time I was like, okay. Third time I was like, I swear to God. This is legit. Then I rolled natural 8 and natural 19.
Who here cares about Diablo?
Well, obviously me.
Well, Diablo Immortal that's coming to mobile is supposed to be a MMO. An
Yeah.
MMO Diablo.
Yeah, that's not gonna.
A minimal multiplayer online? Doesn't sound
Massive multiplayer online. I mean, yeah, sure, back in the days, just normal multiplayer games, that's fine. But have you seen what happened to the Elder Scrolls Online? Well, the Elder Scrolls game's perfect, and then Elder Scrolls Online came out, and that was trash.
Yeah.
Then look at Fallout. Fallout was perfectly good. Fallout 76 comes out, absolutely trash.
I do like the one person's post. They said, "Oh my God, I'm loving what the Fallout 76, especially when the single player mode came out."
Wait,
Everyone
there's a
stopped
single player
playing.
mode?
No, everyone stopped playing. So he was the only one where he was. It's like, oh, okay.
So there's actually a single player mode for Fallout 76 now.
No.
No.
Ah.
This is more of there was just no one there, so he was basically just alone.
Yeah, it was pretty bad.
I did not have much fun in Fallout 76.
Never picked it up myself.
Wouldn't recommend it.
Yeah.
Especially when I heard someone got banned because he played 900 hours of it and had too much ammunition.
That makes perfect sense.
They played the game so much that he had so much ammunition. They banned him.
You have too much bullet.
You have played too much, ban. Stop enjoying our game. Buy next one. Thank you.
What I can't wait for is Borderlands 3 to come out, though. Oh,
Yeah.
wait, when is Borderlands 3 actually coming out? Because if it comes out on a Sunday/Monday, I might not be able to do D&D that day.
I mean, it's coming out on the Epic Store first, so there's that.
Alright, I'm back.
Yeah, no, I don't really care about the Epic Game Store.
What are you guys talking about?
Right now, Borderlands 3.
Oh,
Yeah,
Borderlands 3. Ooh,
September the 13th.
Ooh.
I'm just saying because once when it does come out, I'm going to be downloading it on the date and then streaming it straight after it's downloaded.
Borderlands,
And it will be a 24-hour live stream.
Wow, nice.
Yeah. of just Borderlands 3. That's why I'm thinking if it's on a Monday, hold up.
Yeah, that's on my list.
13th.
I've been like backing off and buying video games for a while now, but that's on my list of video games I will buy because I've played through all the other ones consistently. Versus games where
I still play Borderlands 2.
versus
So-
games where I started them and then dropped them off in the middle, which includes various Assassin's Creeds and Far Cry games. So,
Wait,
it's like
September 13th, you
Okay.
said?
Yeah, September the 13th, which comes out on a Friday, so I don't know if that's for, like, say, overseas or for their 13th, so I might not be able to do D&D on that date.
Hopefully it won't come to that, dude, but if it does, we'll work around it. Anyway, you guys ready to get back into the storyline?
I think we're still missing someone?
Oh, we're still missing someone? Okay.
Oh, no.
'Cause I thought I was late.
Who are we missing?
Shuttle is here, I'm pretty sure.
Shadow's
Yeah.
here. Rick's here.
Clinton's here.
Tobias, are you here?
I am here.
Excellent.
Alright. Fair enough.
We're all here.
Okay.
Shoving food in face.
Yeah,
Clinton's here, right?
I was just finding myself feeling sleepy, so I got some. I got got my laundry out of the thing and then got some caffeinated drink and no drinking.
Cafe.
I got a tropical punch popper,
Nice.
aka juice and a cardboard container.
Yeah, I've had plenty of those. They're easy to store in a lunch bag. Well, I switched over to my Minecraft thermos for the most part. Like, just pour in some apple juice. That way it's more, I'm not wasting things as much. Just cleaning stuff up.
Also, question, what's happening with the Minecraft server? Are we still doing that, or?
I'm trying to, but I'm not sure how to make those extra profiles, and so far they haven't updated their, for some reason they haven't updated the, whatever server type that I use on the Minecraft server to the current thingamajig that Minecraft has
Okay.
out. So it's like, I want to be
Because I
playing on
wanted
it,
to do
but
last time, but yeah.
like, I want to keep playing it, but at the moment I can't get into it because of the server type mismatch. I'm like, why isn't they fixing this? I'm paying money for it.
Which one are you playing on? Is it the Windows 10 version or the other one?
Windows, normal edition?
Non-Windows 10 version.
Non-Windows
Yeah.
10. Alright.
Java edition.
Yeah, because I bought it years and years ago before Windows 10 existed.
Yee, so did I.
G.
Yeah. Same, but I actually know Rick ended up paying for mine again because I ended up forgetting my password. Actually, no, I was using my school's email address,
Ah,
and then when we finish school, they practically take you off of their system, and you don't have a email address with them ever again.
Wow.
So I kind of lost that.
that sucks.
And that was when it was only $15. Now it's like $30 for us, so woo.
Ouch.
Yeah.
If everyone's here, we can go back to where we're at.
Well,
Where you discovered
yes.
soil. Whatever these plants are, they don't respond to spell plant growth.
I wonder how it would react to fire.
We can always test that theory.
Or
Well,
normal
At
water.
least one sample.
Will is going to take one of the seeds of the normal plants he planted out of the soil and he's going to druidcraft it to see if he can make it grow now that it's out of the soil.
Okay, so you took the
smart.
seed out,
Yes.
and it was one of the ones that you planted a few minutes ago.
Yes.
All right, you take it out, you hold it in your hand, and you begin to grow what appears to be some kind of daisy in your hand.
Alright. Well, definitely the soil then. Though it didn't contaminate it, even though it was in it.
The daisy does look a bit, doesn't look all that healthy that you would expect from a druid craft. It's almost like there's, some various, lines of disease or perhaps half dead would be a good example.
Oh. Yeah, okay, never mind. Bad soil.
Do you want us to grab a sample still for you, Will? Maybe in the morning, take another look at it?
Yes, it's... Well, I mean, it's peculiar that these flowers are growing here. They are not flowers, they are something else. But it is the soil that's probably the cause, so... I'll happily have a jar of soil.
Do you have a jar?
Peleus?
Peleus, you will provide a jar, won't you?
Peleus kind of thinks for a minute and nods. Goes over to a corner where there is a rack of various jars and bottles and pots that are all empty, and selects a small jar and brings it over to Will. Here you are.
No. I fill it with the earth and put some kind of stopper or cork in it so it can't get out.
We'll keep you informed whatever we figure out.
Thank you for showing us this, Peleus.
And as a precaution, do not try to eat the soil. And I walk away.
Was
Soil.
okay. Wrong character.
This is true.
As we're, I guess we're leaving or we're staying. I don't know what's going on.
I think we're leaving.
That was it.
Peleus kind of nods.
I mean, I got.
Yes, there's something very wrong with the soil here in the chasm.
I wonder if what you said earlier is correct. But it's
Sun-
not the flowers.
Oh,
What if it's the soil from a different plane?
there is one other thing I could have tried.
Or there's something underneath that's corrupting everything.
That is certainly some people's theories, that something came up from underneath which caused the chasm in the first place, but it's been a while now and things are starting to look better for the most part.
What you thinking, Will?
Thinking about grabbing a live plant. In quotation mark. But now, probably a bad idea. Let's leave it.
Okay, we go back then?
Yeah.
I don't... Unless Peleus has anything else. I don't...
Peleus shakes his head. I would like to thank you for coming by and seeing my concerns.
Shouldn't we get rid of the ones that are there right now, though, first?
Well, that would be easy enough for him to do. Just stomp on them.
Well, they might prove useful.
The
Well, you do what you want. It's your property. He asked us to just look into it. He didn't ask us to do an extermination job. I'm sure once a chasm district is run over by these things, well, we'll exterminate.
I haven't seen them growing outside, Peleus remarks.
Well,
I have
I'm
a
just
feeling
making...
that sunlight does something to them.
Preventing them, maybe?
Oh, night roses. That's a good name for them.
Could it will like summon a mini sun or something? And see what happens?
Hmm.
Summon a mini sun.
I don't know what you guys do. You summon lightning.
A mini sun.
Or at least sunlight. I don't know.
Yes, walk away.
Just walk away. The best solution to a lot of things.
Yeah.
Just walk away.
I walk away. Yeah.
I walk away.
I always love that.
I walk away.
I'm so confused.
Just start climbing
Yeah,
up.
but what even gets it more interesting is the fact that Will constantly sneaks around and vanishes and all that. He just needs to be. Well, he does have rogue stats, but he's a druid for the most part.
Once we're out of the shop, I had something. A question, rather.
Now, so at this point, I am going to drag out two of you for a completely different scene that's happening while you guys are at the shop.
Okay.
You're breaking up.
Oh,
Alright. So, Biddy is yelling in his room. And this has caught the attention of a certain someone else, who is now at his door.
Betty!
What?
What's going on? Why you
What do you
yelling?
mean?
Why you yelling?
I'm allowed to yell.
Why are you talking to Thorn? What's going on? Let me in. Come on. Let me in.
Are you drunk?
Oh.
Why do I not believe that?
There we go.
Can't really do an in. Alright. Let's see. Insight.
I mean, she's like not hiding. I mean, she's not hiding it. She's drunk.
Why don't I believe that?
Just open up the door. Why are you yelling at Thorn? Is she in there? What is she doing? What's going on?
Don't worry about it. Nothing. Just
Thorn, are you in there? Let me in.
Rhiannon's imp just kind of chitters on her head, talking in infernal, saying,
She understands it.
Yeah, I know, but, Biddy doesn't understand it.
Oh,
This guy's kind of crazy, I mean, he was kind of crazy even before the Dark Prince had him play around with those dice.
Shh. It's not nice to call people crazy. Bad.
who's calling me crazy?
The MP thingy. Let me in. What's going on?
Nothing's going on. I mean that literally.
Well, what? You said, "God damn it, Thorn." What'd she do?
Nothing.
Lies.
Well, in this case, without being able to see him, it's really difficult for you to insight check him. But, given what you know of him, you are suspicious.
You're breaking up. I can't hear what you're saying.
You
Yeah,
are suspicious of him, but you can't see him, so you can't tell for certain. You just know him enough that you're suspicious.
Fine. Bye. And she leaves. And she goes to her room. She grabs her wineskin and then she heads back to her room.
Meanwhile, everyone else finally arrives back at the Windstar Manor.
to see Biddy dead.
No.
Did you read?
Half dead.
Sherry said she had something to say or a question once we got out. Did that happen?
Yeah. The only question she had was, do we know if Lord November knows what's going on here, and that's why he's sending people here?
I don't know. I mean, assumed that it was the guard from Thrice that was doing it. I don't know if he... I mean, depending on how much power you give people, I mean, you can pull the wool over anybody's eyes, I would imagine. He might not be aware.
Perhaps we should rest for tonight. We to find the sun tomorrow. I feel it's not going to be easy.
No.
Sorry, for a moment there, Evil, all I could think of is finding the sun.
Yeah.
Sir Lancelot. Well, yeah, maybe rest is best.
The
Sure, he's going to head up.
Before heading up, Phaedra's gonna go to the kitchen, and she's going to get some hot water, and she's gonna fill up her teapot, and grab a couple of cups, and she's gonna steep some of the tea that she got from Peleos. And she'll bring it upstairs.
Do I smell it?
Oh God!
Roll perception check.
Like a drug addict.
Bloodhound.
Damn it!
No, you do not.
Oh, fuck, I love it.
I would love for him to just smash
Yeah.
the door in. Just like
Tiefling
Kraven.
size.
Like
Tiefling
Kraven.
size hole. Yeah. Yeah, she'll steep some tea, and then she'll make her way up to her room.
Tea thing.
Will is going to walk in here and steal a blanket and then walk back out again.
What's Aki doing?
At the moment,
He's
he's
sleeping
just hanging out downstairs, sitting on a chair, or on the
I can
couch,
tell you what
rather.
he is. I can tell you what he isn't doing. Sleeping with a blanket. I took it.
Ralthor is gonna sit across from Aki.
Aki kind of looks up from something he was, a book he was thumbing through, and nods to Relthor.
G'day.
Hey.
Cool.
Kind of grins slightly at that and puts the book aside. Something I can help you with?
Do you plan on sleeping tonight?
Oh, I don't actually sleep.
Ralthor raises an eyebrow.
I do meditate some, but I don't actually sleep.
Isn't that, like, bad for you or something?
He frowns for a moment, thinking, I'm not sure how best to put it. David has put forth the suggestion that it has to do with my elven grandmother, but I am not 100% sure.
Okay. Interesting. But yeah, other than that, no, I just decided to sit down here, so I wouldn't be lonely.
Are you lonely often?
Kind of. Just everybody goes off doing their own thing, and I'm just here without knowing what I'm doing
Well, they
half the time.
seem to bring you along, at least from what I've observed.
Oh, I'm always in for a ride, but half the time I'm not even knowing what the hell's going on.
Do you want to know what's going on?
Ralph doesn't really know how to answer that.
You seem to be distressed by the fact that you killed somebody. Therefore, it makes me think that you might not want to necessarily know what's going on.
I mean, it was different. Never done it before.
Yes, well, the first person you kill can be the hardest.
I mean, it wasn't that hard. It was just an accident.
How was it an accident? Let's start with that.
Well, I saw someone sleeping on a roof. It looked like that he was about to fall down, so I grabbed him. He attacked me, and I don't know what came over me, but to just burst out with flames, and he fell down and died.
Would this be safe to say perhaps your natural tiefling response?
Yeah, I guess so.
Okay, nods a bit. I know a little of that myself. Sometimes when people attempt to hurt me, very bad things happen to them.
It's more of a physical attack on me, though.
Yes.
Shut up. Yes, it was an accident. Ratho just sits quietly. So, what you reading?
I don't know. I really just picked up the book that was sitting on a shelf and started looking at it, and I haven't gotten a chance to really read it yet.
Well, don't let me bother you, I guess. I'm just gonna sit here and probably sleep here, if that's okay.
You're not bothering me, and why would you wish to sleep in a chair? Don't you have a bed?
Not that I know of. Like I said, I usually get left out of the loop, sort of thing.
Well, I imagine there are plenty of beds in the area. This does seem like quite a big place. I have
True.
stayed in places like this before. My friend David's family is quite well off. They have a large home in a large city.
I'm just used to sleeping at bot. I used to be a somewhat of an alcoholic just because I liked the taste.
Was this before?
And then I found tea.
Was this before or after you accidentally killed someone?
A bit of both. I mean, it wasn't as heavy after the accident, but before the accident, I still drank.
Well, perhaps it would help you if you got some normal sleep.
I will be doing that. Don't you worry.
And I don't mean in a chair.
Oh. Well, I'm pretty sure everybody else is asleep. So...
Well, I was saying is that this place looks like it has plenty of bedrooms.
But I don't want to walk into people sleeping.
Aki stands up. Come on, I'll help you find someplace.
Okay. I will shyly stand up and follow. As I have not been in this kind of situation before. I'm usually in small
Ralph
areas.
was sleeping in Rhiannon's room. I thought they were sharing a room.
Ralph can't remember shite.
That's okay. Just was throwing it out there.
And if that was happening, I guess I didn't remember.
So Aki kind of pokes at Gal Mill's door first.
The door opens and Jim pokes it out.
I take it this room is occupied?
No.
There's room. I don't use my bed.
No.
No, close the door.
He moves on, comes down to this room, pushes the door open, looks around, examines the bed, and says, "From my observation, this bedroom has not been slept in some time. It looks like to be some kind of guest room. I imagine that they would much prefer you if you slept in here rather than sat in a chair and slept there."
I guess I could do so, but what if it's like in the morning and I'm still asleep and nobody sees me for a while, and they leave me behind?
Well, as I said, I don't sleep. I can convince them to remember. I can try and talk to them into taking you with them.
I just don't want them to forget about me.
Aki kind of stays quiet for a moment, looking Ralthor up and down. "You do not look like the sort of person who would be very forgettable. Do not tend to see purple tieflings."
You'd be surprised.
Kind of reaches out and strokes a hand down one of Ralthor's horns.
Ralthor kind of shivers.
Not used to attentions.
Beg your pardon?
Aki actually chuckles slightly. Says, "You should get some good sleep then. Some proper sleep.
I will sleep then.
Good night."
Yep, good night. As he says goodnight, he closes the door behind him, lays on the bed, and the rat comes out and sleeps on his face.
Aww, that is cute.
Looking like Ralthor has a big, huge nose.
That is right. Rat face boy. Alright, it is now high sun 17. The morning comes to, and the smells of cooking start filling the air.
Cinder, like a bloodhound smelling food, is like out the door.
Yes.
Nothing untoward seems to have happened during the night. Perhaps the mission that Lagras set off to do has taken root.
Well, they haven't attacked us yet. Oh boy. Rhiannon has a hangover. That's what you get for drinking too much.
Rhiannon, you essentially have you have disadvantage on, everything today.
Sweet.
Sweet. Yep.
Sweet.
That's the kind of attitude you need.
I'm just gonna put it as the little flask saying that she's just drunk and fucked and yeah.
You know what you should try? You should try some of this tea.
Ralph, you're still asleep. She can't hear you.
I know, but it's just a thought.
Rhiannon rubs her head and immediately goes down to the kitchen and gets another bottle of wine.
Oh my god.
That's a problem.
At least with Ralph, when he had a hangover once in this game, he just ordered juice. Rhiannon's going through some shit right now.
Oh no. Does that make noise?
Yep.
Okay, Ralthor, Phaedra, Shuri, roll a perception check.
Oh no.
Oh, I think I know what happened.
Oh, I definitely hear it. Jesus Christ.
Ralthor, you're bolted awake by a certain noise. Shuri and Phaedra, you hear it too. Evil, if you would
What kind of noise?
The fuck?
And this is coming from Gamble?
Runs out the room.
This is coming from Galmil's room, yes, and you heard it very loudly, Ralthor. It
I would
startled you
like to
awake.
hide underneath the sheets.
You may.
Gamel?
A visitor? Yeah.
Looks inside.
You see a greenish horse with tentacles for a face, with tendrils sticking out of it, just sitting there. In the middle
Eyes go wide. How did you get a horse up here? What, is that a horse?
Oh, that's Kelly. I just summoned her.
Oh god, Will's gone nope on this.
Summoned horse thing?
Yeah.
Kelly. Okay.
Short for
Guys.
Calgary.
Ralph was just gonna scream out, guys, is it safe out there? No!
Well, it's not, thing. So this is yours? You summoned
Yeah.
her.
Technically, it's an illusion. It's a kind of a quasi-real-like thing. Quasi-real horse-like creature, more likely.
Is
Very
she fast?
Oh yes,
Oh.
very. Only lasts an hour. Man, it takes me 10 minutes to summon. You get big.
Just a side note. I don't know how the bougie people are gonna feel about a horse walking through the halls. Just
Oh, I know. He snaps his fingers and the horse is gone.
well. Very well then.
God damn it, cowbell.
I can whenever I summon Kelly, I can summon her parents.
So you could say make her look like a guard's horse, correct?
Technically.
Interesting.
Rhiannon, a maid walks over to you and starts handing you something that looks like it's made for a hangover.
A maid walks over with what?
Some sort of hangover cure.
Oh. She will look at it, swish it around, and then she'll kick it back. Can I get another bottle of wine, please?
Oh,
The
God.
people in the kitchen who are working on breakfast are just kind of staring at you now. Roll a perception check, Rhiannon. With disadvantage, of course, because you're...
Because I'm awesome. That's right.
Yeah.
That's Rhiannon, though.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, you don't see any wine.
You drank it all last night.
Well, she is going to... yeah, she's gonna go to the bar. She's gonna walk out the door.
Goddamn. We lost her.
And now you're just the one walking away, huh?
Yep.
Turn Jim Branson and just scoot my way past Phaedra. Hi, smell breakfast.
Yeah, let's go.
Ralph, are you coming out for breakfast?
Ralph's still scared that it might still be out there. Whatever that noise was.
Ralthor, come on.
The maid decides to follow after you, Rhiannon.
Is there something wrong?
Gamil attempts to stop the maid. Well, everyone else,
Hello?
well, everyone else is gathering for breakfast or hiding in their bedroom. Or Belthor's actually coming down. Yay! Oh, it's Biddy who's having...
Phaedra told me to come down, sir. I don't want an angry dwarf coming at me.
Yeah, that's unpleasant. So, yeah, the servants come and bring food to the table.
So I'm just gonna poke his head out the front door.
You see Rhiannon walking down the street.
Rhiannon, where are you going?
To the bar! You want to come?
Looks at the
That's
sun.
not
A little early.
Sounds like something that freaking James would have done ages ago.
They're out of wine here. I'll be back.
I'm going with.
Fine.
Do you need a shadow?
If you wish. But don't worry. The whole city will know if something goes wrong.
Oh. But I'll be around.
The whole city will know. So you learned 2 new spells.
Gnome, 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 gnome.
Dear
Gnome,
God.
gnome, gnome.
What gnome?
No,
Gnome
no.
is invisible, practically. Except
Practically to you.
those things that can see through darkness.
Dun, dun, dun.
I do enjoy the fact that I keep rolling 19s when I roll for stealth.
Mm-mm.
And then you have passable edge trace on top of that, which is an extra 10.
Rhiannon's just gonna make her way to some place where she can just fill up her skin. And then she'll head back.
Heading
Will
to the
is-
staggering satyr, perhaps?
There's not a closer bar in this. I mean, if that's the closest bar, then yeah.
That's the closest one you are aware of. It's not necessarily.
Well, she'll look
closest
around
bar.
while she's like making way to see anywhere. I guess anywhere on the way.
Will is
Ooh,
keeping a
sightseeing.
distance, keeping track on people who would keep an eye on Rhiannon.
Alright, roll a perception check.
Yeah, Jim Brent is looking for any trouble.
She'll go ahead and cast guidance on herself for the perception check.
Wrong character thing, but right stats.
Oh, that didn't mean to be a whisper. Sorry.
That's okay.
Yes, I am. I accidentally whispered my perception.
Oh,
Oh, damn.
Jesus.
I am on a mission for a bar. That is a 29.
She is sniffing for the alcohol.
Yeah.
She's
She
better finding
knows.
bars than fucking rock.
So much.
God damn.
She knows.
You know?
Anyway, why is somebody trying to deceive me? Why is somebody rolling a deception check? I have no idea why they're doing that.
She's looking for a bar.
I don't know what's going on.
I don't know either.
Someone just whispered
Never
a
do I.
deception check, and they didn't ask me to. Sorry, they didn't wait for me to tell them to roll deception, so therefore it is invalid if they're trying to do something. Anyway,
I sense shady biz.
anyway, so you're already away for a bar. So the only one that you are aware of in the area is the staggering satyr, which is all the way down here. Gamil is following, and you do not know that Will is following you.
I am around.
Isn't
didn't
the I was going to say, isn't the imp also following Ish?
Oh,
Should it
yeah,
be
he should
anyway?
here. Yeah, he should be.
Yeah, but that's Rhiannon's token, so.
I forget
Yeah.
that I have control of it. It's
So
my
yeah, the
bad.
staggering satyr is an inn/tavern. It's where Beast and James have been staying in the past.
I didn't see anything with my 29 before that.
No. You.
Okay.
And the perception check was actually for the other party who was looking out for you. They were, looking around, trying to make sure that you weren't being followed.
Well, she's also looking for another tavern, that's why.
Yeah, that's why I rolled.
Yeah, sorry, I was aiming that perception check at the people who were watching watching over you.
Well, I go to the bar, and I am trying to get as much as I can for as little as I can, because she doesn't have money. She has 1 gold.
So yeah, it's 1 silver for a glass of ale. It'll probably take about 2 ales to fill up that water skin. So that would be 2 silvers.
I got you covered. Puts down 2 silver.
Thank you, Gamma.
The stocky dwarf bartender just kind of looks you over and watches you pour that into your water skin. Ah, got some trouble, missy.
Made a deal. Paying for it, I guess.
Oh, what kind of deal?
One to protect others, but I won't bother you with that. Have a good day, sir. And she'll walk off.
The woman behind the bar just kind of gives a sudden gasp at Rhiannon's comment and say, "Well, I never."
Don't worry, sir. We're both a little drunk.
Rhiannon will just start drinking and walk back to the manor.
Mana.
Manor.
Hey, mana. Hey, mana.
Yeah, and person who just whispered me all that's something you have to declare before you do any of that roll, and you also have to wait for me to tell you, okay? Because if you just make a roll, I have no idea why you're rolling, and it doesn't, it basically is invalid. Yeah.
While they're walking, she'll just kind of like, she'll tell Gamal, she's like, you might want to keep Tim on me, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to get taken too. So that might be something to do.
Snap his fingers. Tim vanishes from under his hat. Is now in her bun.
Aww.
And she just keeps drinking and walking. Thanks.
I wonder how Rhiannon would feel if Tim was an octopus.
I'm just picturing the most demented looking thing you can possibly think of. It's fine. Like,
Whenever I like picture like Tim like on her bun, like have you ever seen those like fancy hair pieces that like go over the bun? I kind of see it as all like intricate like that. It looks like a really fancy hair piece.
he definitely doesn't look like he's alive, to be fair.
Yeah. With
Like-
the eyes like darting around.
Pure black and like yellow, like crystal like eyes. It's fine.
Looks cool.
And he can stand completely still. He doesn't need to eat or anything like that, so there's that.
Familiars.
They're the best. People try to use them and people get them and then they don't use them like at all, or they don't use them properly, and it's like, why?
And it kind of depends on also what kind of familiar you have, because I mean, some familiars are animal companion familiars. Others are fey creatures. So it kind of like depends on which one what kind you have.
Yeah. Mine's basically just for subterfuge.
Like for example, Cinder there is more animal companion. Though she counts as a familiar, she is technically an animal companion.
She is
Cinder-
adorable,
yeah,
and I love her.
Because Cinder does need food and all that, so.
You could have spoke up whenever Lograd was asking. Just saying. Out of character.
And Lograd will respond out of character, saying, "I don't need another familiar in this party. Thank you."
Yeah.
Thank you.
I wonder what the Night Maiden is thinking right now. Might be able to get her as a patron.
Night
Aha.
Mistress?
I think that's her, right? The Night Mistress?
They'll all be warlocks.
Oh.
Warlock party!
I'm not a warlock.
By the way, I have not dropped out of stealth, so nobody knows if I'm back or not.
Riddle is just kind of walking around.
I didn't get any breakfast, I'm just gonna go and take some things from the kitchen.
Oh my god.
Yeah, and the cooks don't even notice. You rolled way too high.
Where did we put our pancakes?
I'm in the kitchen making a sandwich. They don't know.
Breakfast
Wait,
sandwiches, nice.
Says to the other person, "Hey, did you put the bread here?"
So,
I told you to clean the knife!
so, what would you guys like to do?
Food.
You're currently eating. After food. What
More
would you like to
food.
do?
What are we eating?
They're eating some wonderful things.
Oh boy, I love
Bacon,
wonderful
little
things.
pastries, maybe some breakfast salad.
Althor is eating a lot of bacon,
Yes.
shoving
Baker.
bacon into his mouth.
Feeds Cinder a couple pieces of bacon.
Mm.
Bacon, bacon, bacon.
Althor's kind of eyeing off Cinder while eating bacon.
So what's the plan today then?
I don't know. Do we want to do something with these flowers or soil? I forgot what we got. I was too busy admiring Palios.
Appears next to Phaedra. Alright, yes!
Jesus.
Who's that?
Oh, I will.
Scared me.
Yes, anyone would be so inclined and just put the jug of soil on the table. Anyone wants to inspect this further? I have done what I can.
Find anything?
Not really. Not more than I learned last night.
What if we mix normal soil with that soil?
Probably would contaminate that soil.
So it could be like a spreaded plague over that side if I was to like...
No,
we could get a tray of dirt and see what happens.
Anyone but Ralph. Anyone but Ralph.
Oh. I mean, I wasn't going to do it outside. I was going to grab a shovel and get some dirt and bring it inside. And...
Anybody who's near a window, please roll perception.
Oh.
Wait, there's windows here?
Yeah, there's one just right here. Don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Could we all see? Could I see past Phaedra?
You could potentially see out the window, yeah.
Perception. Oh, wow. I got a nat 1. That's...
Oh shit. Technically, I'm not
Jesus.
near a window. I'm technically outside, technically speaking.
And if you're outside, you can see it too.
Oh, this is. Do I see? What
That's
the-
advantage with Cinder, so 22.
Oh wow.
Okay, so
Cinder
nobody
knows.
else is rolling. Beast and Cinder. Everyone else is preoccupied, eating breakfast, doing something else. But Beast and Cinder, you look up into the sky and you see words forming. They say, "Get your frog insurance today."
Not sure I understand.
Oh my
I don't know
Oh
I mean, it's that's what we were all thinking.
No, you're not part of D&D.
I don't know
Oh
why
my
that
God.
triggered, but it did.
Oh, I love it!
I broke. I'm sorry. I just broke.
I broke because of the frog insurance, and then I broke even harder because of Siri.
Getting frog insurance today. I'm not
Oh my god. That
Oh,
was beautiful.
oh my god, my stomach.
God.
Cinder just kind of like, I mean, she can't really read, but she kind of like cocks her head a little bit and just starts like clawing at Phaedra's hair. And Phaedra's like, what the hell? And like turns around and I guess looks out the window.
And sees that, yeah.
Interesting. The clouds are talking? Or I don't know.
I just walk over to the window.
Something about frog insurance?
Ow. Ow, no.
Okay, I'm
Ow,
back.
ow.
Oh,
Cinder will follow Will.
Seize this marketing program.
What? Who's Gamma?
wait, what?
Cinder just kind of cocks a head and looks at Gamel.
I can't
Or
keep
Jim
track of all
Berenson.
your personas. Jim
Branson?
Jim Branson. Jim Branson.
Yes.
Actually,
What's
you know
this?
what?
What's the issue?
So many things. But let's start with the sky.
What's wrong with the sky?
Oh, come along.
Oh, I will.
Go over to the window.
Well, look at that. The sky has words.
Indeed, it does.
Who would have done that?
Just slowly turns and looks up at you like.
I don't have that spell.
But
Wait, what?
no, you. But you would do this.
Probably, but I don't have the spell.
Just tired eyes that roll inside.
Yeah, Phaedra too.
Beast. Is there like a ring pointing towards where I can get frog insurance?
Can't hold back his grin.
Oh god, Beast wants to buy
Right.
Aki now looks out the window to figure what the hell's going on.
The
And
net
then
one.
shakes his head.
Why?
And then looks over at the rest
Right.
of you and says,
Jim,
Is there...
Yes.
why?
Oh, sorry. Aki kind of looks around and out the window at this point and starts shaking his head. I keep forgetting to unmute myself. And then looks around at the rest of you and says, is there some kind of weird advertising in this world that I'm not aware of?
Oh no. He drops concentration and the words start to vanish. Just trying out a new spell.
Did you have to do that?
Yes.
Ah,
What else was I gonna put? The first thing that popped in my head.
You could have put in this as a test? But even that would raise eyebrows.
Error 44. Sky not found.
Aki just starts shaking his head. Are you from this world? You're from the Feywild, aren't you?
Yes.
Because you sometimes talk like somebody from my world. From where I'm
Do you have a Jim Branson in your world?
No, but this, I can tell, is, the, Eladrin guy that came here. I am pretty good at seeing through things.
That's unfortunate. For you.
God.
Answer to whisper, it's probably go about 15 feet.
You don't get to experience my good actorship. And it's splendor.
And I think it might come with my curse. I'm not sure.
Rhiannon stumbles in at this point.
Oh, hey!
Eh.
Hold up. Never mind.
I think I'm gonna go for a peruse around town while you guys locate your friend. I've got a horse to ride.
Rhiannon, will say, I'm going to my temple. Reflect. I'll be back tonight.
There are no. Well, there's some like trees in the courtyard, sort of thing. Mostly, there's bushes around the mansion. So Rhiannon's heading off to the temple.
Yeah, she's going to House of Knowledge.
Okay, cool. What are the rest of you guys doing?
Gamla's gonna wander around town looking as Jim Branson riding a horse.
Okay. Okay.
So what's this today's plan? Everyone who's left?
There looks like 2 or 3 pieces.
Oh, we're
left.
supposed to...
Ralph will grab all the pieces and then shove them in his face.
Interesting.
Bacon.
Well, we were looking to have a chat with the son of Lord November.
Would you need me for that?
If you're busy, I'm not gonna.
Wow. I do have this stuff, and it's turned out to be very interesting.
What were you planning, Will?
Okay, now I'm more concerned than I am of normal Gamel.
That was a curious laugh. What are you planning, Will?
Well, I mean, you the defenses around this mansion at some point, in case something happened.
I mean, it wouldn't be bad to be able to defend this place. It is the Windstar's family as well.
Well, how about a living tree?
Oh!
What?
What?
I'm not really sure how that's gonna help.
Excuse me?
I mean, you're just gonna plant a tree. It's not gonna do anything.
Oh, I mean a living walking tree that can bash things in.
Aki
Okay.
Oh my.
looks over at
That's-
Will and says, "An awakened tree?
Yes,
Okay, that
What
went
if you-
a
You can
direction.
do that."
with the staff I can do it.
Interesting.
It would even be smart enough to talk.
Well, smart enough to talk is different from being able to talk.
Well, it probably would gain the senses any humanoid would have.
Excuse me. Eyes, nose, ears, mouth, tongue.
Similar, something or the other. I guess I don't really know.
One way to find out.
Exactly. So I'm just gonna go find a good tree and help it out of the ground. It will take
Okay.
some time.
A little
That's why I'm
concerning,
asking.
but you know.
Don't worry, it will be fine as long as no one pisses us off.
Good.
So you're shoring up more defenses around the Windstar Manor. Love it.
Yeah,
He's gonna have
Will
a
it-
walking, living tree right
That's fine. It's
in the middle of a
fine.
city.
It's fine.
I'm gonna need a couple minutes break to get up and walk around. For some reason, even though I got enough sleep last night, I am feeling very drowsy, and the solution to that is to get up and walk for a minute.
Okay.
Okay.
Face you.
Wait.
Yeah, awaken.
Hmm.
That's a funny spell.
Jim is
How long does it?
Interestingly, forever.
you just
Cool. I might pick that up later on.
It's a level 5 spell.
5th level. Oh, that's gonna be a lot.
So,
shit.
the oh,
I see a big problem.
Yeah, that's a big component.
but it
I
is.
think doesn't the staff cast it without it?
Yeah, I think the staff
Um,
cast is without it.
Oh.
Does the cast specify it does it? Because if it doesn't, it doesn't.
If the spell consumes an item, you need the item.
Yeah, unless the staff specifically says without components. Like there's some things that let you cast without components, but it's very limited.
You got
I think
me.
at will, for instance, let's makes it able to cast without components. Then that
You can call. You can. Okay, yeah. You can use it. There's only certain spells that are without using. In that case, well, it will only be an afternoon for him to gather 1,000 gold pieces from the local population.
you could also just ask Phaedra because she probably has that much left.
Well, if he steals 1 gold from 5,000 people,
Yeah, okay. I mean, 1 gold is still a lot, though. In reality,
Yeah, so on that note, Iron Roses need to start making some money because we have not a lot left.
a tree circus.
yeah, maybe we should start doing.
The tree circus.
Just saying.
That only
Hey,
just
I know a job
Okay.
which could give us a lot of money.
According to Jeremy Crawford, casting a spell from a magic item requires no component unless the text says otherwise. See Dungeon Master's Guide 141.
Ooh.
This
Pull
is
out.
especially does casting the spell to charge awaken cost 1,000 gold.
So, that's a no.
Quick thing. Should we? We could go do that one quest with the grave robbing, if you guys remember that, with the possible giants. That we were going to get paid for that, and who was that job for?
That
It
was
was
for
on the
Lord.
board.
Yeah,
That's
but do you
what-
remember
what-
who
what job's
posted
this?
it? Because if we,
Adler
Didn't-
told us about it.
yeah, but
Yeah.
who posted the request? Because that might
Lord.
be.
The Lord.
Yeah,
What
isn't,
request is this?
isn't this a good way to get close to him to murder him? By
That's
giving
gonna
the
be
quest?
that's days away too, I think, isn't it?
Not too far, I think. We should be able to do it.
X amount of days you give me, I can give us an army of awakened
Okay, I'm
trees.
back. I am not certain why my brain is not liking me today, but it keeps trying to drag me into sleepiness. That happens sometimes when I'm at work too. I have some suspicions about it, but yeah. So it's one of those things. If I keep sitting down, I'm gonna fall asleep.
Maybe iron?
What?
Iron deficiency? That can cause tiredness.
Possibly sidewise.
My sister suffers from that side. I'm like, yeah, you know.
Anyway, so where are we at now? I heard that Will is working on looking for a proper tree. to awaken.
he cannot. We've established that he
No, he
cannot,
can.
I think.
No, he can.
Oh, he can?
I've got the Dungeon Master's Guide right open here. It says some magic
Oh, okay.
items allow the user to cast a spell from the item. This spell possible spell level doesn't expend any of the user's spell slots and requires no components, unless the
Okay.
item's description says otherwise.
Yeah, he
Cool.
got a really cool staff at a decent cost. I mean, some of the prices are like off on certain things, but it's like, you know, I'm making dice rolls for it, and the character isn't sure how much certain things cost based on, you know, what's got in front of him. So he's just, you know, it's been in the shop for years. I'm not sure what it does because I'm not a magic user. Yeah.
Will is currently
unload it on
like
you.
Will is currently like a small child walking in the forest finding a cool stick. I can awaken trees.
Are you still in the Windstar Manor, or I mean, outside the Windstar Manor, or did you actually leave Neverwinter?
I did not leave Neverwinter. You
Good.
said there were some decent sized trees out there.
Yeah,
So
I was saying there's a
I'm
couple
gonna-
trees there's a couple of trees that have been planted in the courtyard
what
near
type of trees?
near that fountain. Phew. That's a good question. I'm not entirely sure. Something kind of hard, something that you might normally see in a colder environment, but has taken to this, you know, warmer area. 'Cause, I mean, the area is warm due to, you know, thermal vents underground. So it's naturally in a cold area, but it's warm because of that. So that makes me think that the plants would probably be more like cold weather plants that have adapted to a slightly warmer environment. But I'm not a plant aficionado, therefore I do not know what kind of trees those are. Bad me.
And
Albus glabra.
Beast. My only concern of doing that mission
Wait, what
is in order to
mission?
get the one with we had to go up to the to get that item from the grave robbing thing.
Ah, okay, sorry. Because remember, I wasn't standing around here listening
Yeah.
to you guys talk. So
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, we were talking about maybe doing that mission to get close to the person we want to kill, because that's the same employer, right?
yeah, it's the Lord Neverember has set forth this said mission.
Yes. If you want to do that for the money, my only issue with that is because we were also talking about needing funds. To get the funds, we need to get the item.
I mean, when we're there with the item, he probably has the money with him.
I don't.
Then we kill him, take the money, have the item, and kill him like we wanted to. We got the interesting, powerful artifacts. We have the money we wanted, and we killed the person we wanted to kill. Three birds, one stone. And we don't have to deal with getting past 50 guards. The only problem is getting out after we do that. But, I mean,
Yes.
we might be able to set up a meeting place outside of his keep.
Yeah, that elm picture could work.
That might work. My only concern is the time. And of course, I'll deal with him. Any plans on how to get Thrice out of his area? He's more cautious and cowardly. If he does deal with people directly, he doesn't deal with people alone.
That's fine, because it's probably not the most righteous thing we're looking for. So if it's someone, it's probably someone from the Zentarum, which wouldn't be a problem for ending them. Might be harder, but I mean,
From what I can tell, it seems like he runs the Zentarum here right now.
I mean, you can change into different people, right?
If I reattune to that helmet, yes.
If we kill him, why don't
Everybody
we have
will roll a perception check.
a what?
Roll a what?
What?
Perception check.
Oh, good.
Great.
There you
I
go.
see something.
You should see everything.
Actually, it's more like you hear something.
Oh, what
Be-
is it that I
And
hear?
Beast, why are you still rolling at advantage?
It's a mistake. I also
Ditto Phaedra, why are you rolling at advantage?
My shield.
How does it give you advantage on perception for hearing?
Oh, you just said a perception check.
Sorry, yeah, perception check. So, why does your shield give you perception on perception advantage? I'm sorry.
It's the magical item, and I have advantage on perception checks and initiative rolls.
Okay, cool. I forgot that it was also on perception checks. Sorry, my bad.
You're right.
It's all good.
I just after Beast for some reason on advantage. I was like wondering why are people rolling at advantage?
sorry. It was
Because
the-
magic.
Yeah. So yeah, Viren and Shiori and Ralthor, as you're sitting around talking with each other, you hear a sudden creak coming from the courtyard.
It's gonna take me much longer than a couple of minutes to cast a spell.
I'm just thinking that enough time has gone by after a while that you're starting to hear creaking noises as the rest of you guys are debating what to do next.
Well,
Does anyone else hear that creaking noise?
I do.
I don't. Let's go check it out.
I-
Their nods.
Yeah.
Oh, 8 hours? Never mind. I thought the way that Will was describing that it was sooner than
Oh.
that. My bad.
No creaking noise. Okay.
Never mind.
Oh my
So-
god.
Are we-
I mean,
I'm not used
for
to a
flavor.
tree awakening. It's just
Yeah,
you know.
yeah. For flavor, you could
We're
say
all
that
going
it's
insane.
shaking and
Nah.
moving as I do it.
So, what are we going to do? Let's get the artifact, then murder when we are going to deliver it plan, or what we're
I defer to
that's
the
not-
group.
That's not a
I'm just here for
bad
fun.
plan at all, to be fair. It
I mean-
was near him.
it's the best plan we have up until now. It's the only one, as far as I
Agreed.
know.
Yeah.
What would be nice is if Gamil, you could change into him. There it is, and walk out,
Uh,
looking like him,
Gamel's
so we won't get.
gone.
Oh, where did he go? I needed him. Anyway, we could do that. Oh, it was Shori who can do that with the helm, right?
Mhm. I can't impersonate voices very well.
To be fair, both of them have that.
I mean, you don't need to talk. You just need to walk out of there so they know we didn't do it, or looks like we didn't kill him. We can put his body in a bag of holding and dump it later somewhere. We just need to make sure that no one notices that we did this. So you need to walk out of our meeting alive, so to speak.
Phaedra, I would like you to roll a intelligence check.
Oh god.
Oh boy. We all know how this is gonna go.
I
No,
mean,
it's the same. Yeah.
it's probably.
So, Phaedra, as you're finishing up your breakfast and listening to all of this conversation, you feel a twinge inside yourself and start to realize that these actions being discussed are very much against your alignment.
Yep. Knew this was gonna happen.
We're literally talking for 2 days about how to murder them.
I was gone.
I'm sorry that bringing up an effective way is wrong.
Hey, out of character. I was not here last session until halfway through, and the audio was
yeah.
all sorts of fucked.
Yeah.
So
So basically, from Phaedra's perspective, the whole idea of assassinating someone is wrong, especially all of this stuff. And when he is not attempting, if somebody is not attempting to attack you, attacking them first is also a wrong action from her alignment perspective.
I mean, he would be trying to attack us.
But if you attack
Granted,
him
we
first
instigated it.
or instigate it, then it is still against her alignment. Is basically what it boils down to. That basically
I
what
mean-
they're talking about is very much against what you stand for.
We could also try to do the same and get close to him that way and try to convince him not to be a bad person.
I feel like murdering somebody who has not done. We don't have evidence against him, per se.
He burned down a bunch of.
No, that was not him.
He ordered it.
That
He
was-
ordered people to burn down a bunch of houses.
He ordered it, or Thrice ordered it.
Pretty sure
Thrice
that's.
ordered it.
I'm not sure. Okay,
Correct.
then we kill Thrice. That's fine.
Well,
Maybe.
we need to target Thrice first then.
Wait, how about maybe the Lord isn't bad, but he's just under the influence of the Centauran, because they
Possible.
are known to be quite manipulative. So that might also be a good way to get a private conversation with him. Because I mean, he's not gonna let us talk to him alone.
If
Well,
we can get
We walk up to his home, knocking at his door.
Thrice, we can get information.
Question for DM. Rhiannon divulged that he was going around killing people with noble birth. Would that have any effect over any of this?
You've heard rumors and people telling you that he has been ordering this.
Lawgrath?
Longrath has told you that, which means you need to which means that that's the source that you're saying here. That's one source, so it still probably wouldn't be enough for Phaedra's alignment to necessarily be certain of this.
That's fine. It's possible that I think Thrice is the main person here that we need to focus on. His evil is there's clear evidence of it, and Lord Protector could just be corrupted from him. There's no proof, except for words of a evil black dragon and a cleric who is now an alcoholic.
And a trickster.
But if we want to speak to Thrice, right, we're not gonna find him, I think. Locate him that easily. And we know he is connected to the Lord anyway, right?
Lord Innocent Arm.
Yeah. So if we could speak to the Lord, if he is being influenced by them, we can help him out. If he isn't and works with them, he probably knows where Thrice is and is guilty of the crimes. Either way, and we can then decide to either lock him up or, if it comes to it, fight him. But we need to do something, because we
Agreed.
can't keep talking about in circles about what we're gonna do and how we're gonna do it, because more people are going to get hurt.
Also, there might be more evidence inside the castle that we could use against him. Maybe bring more evidence to the sun whenever we try to, or at least get him on our side.
And finding out what he's looking for will probably help in that. I don't think he is just looking for it because it's an interesting item. I think the Zants have something to do with it.
Well, the item is supposed to quell some sort of rage in the fire giants, if I remember correct.
Yeah. I mean, it's an item that needs to get got anyway, so.
To protect the city, yes.
To protect the city, yeah. If it's not what he says it is, it's not, and we'll find out. And if it is, someone needs to go get it. So I think, is everyone okay with that plan now?
I'm okay with getting it. Yes.
But Bjorn and Adler will both nod.
I'm in.
Rathel sipping tea.
Now,
As
just
for
remember,
getting-
from a GM perspective, only one of the wind stars may go.
You broke up. What?
I said, from a GM perspective, only one of each of your characters may go, which means basically for three of you,
Mhm.
that's the only character you have at the moment.
Yeah.
Beast. I guess Beast will go because James is nowhere to be found.
I will say this. If it comes to getting Thrice, I am what he's looking for. I could be bait.
Don't.
I'm not saying that
We
I'm
don't need bait.
not gonna sacrifice myself. When it comes to me, it makes it easier for me.
Why don't you keep helmet on for now? We can discuss
I
it
could
when
read
we finally find him.
I'd have to reattune to it if we're doing this. I would lose some offensive capabilities and defensive capabilities.
Well, we're
mean-
not trying to be deceptive now. I mean,
He already knows
Yeah,
who I am.
exactly.
just do it before we go meet him, so he doesn't get spooked the second he sees you.
He's already going to be spooked the second he sees us. He knows I'm with you. Whether or not
Alright.
he sees me is not going to make a difference now.
Let's go questing then. Let's go.
Kitty!
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 Lots of meowing.
Meow. Pets are adorable.
Tuzel.
I will follow, even though they don't know what we're doing.
So the plan is that you're leaving town and heading north. Is that correct?
Yeah,
going
I
We're
mean,
leaving town.
Are you planning
Some
on
of us
going
are
by
leaving town.
foot, or are you planning on, taking a carriage? What's the plan with
I mean,
that?
we might. I think it's best we take a carriage because we have no idea how big this thing is gonna be,
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
and it's
Well,
probably
there's Uncle
quicker
Cat.
as well.
Alright. So you'll be taking a carriage. I'll figure out how many days that is. But this seems like a good place to stop, especially since my brain keeps saying, no, shut down, shut down, shut down. So.
Mhm.
It's trying to do a force update. It's fine.
Yeah, I just want to stay closed for some reason.
I mean, it's the time that we usually stop too. So if need be.
It's a bit early, but yeah.
I think, if with the group agrees, do you think we should wait until Will finishes his tree that can guard and then we could head off?
We need to set up the carriage anyway, so that's gonna take a
Yeah.
few hours.
Yeah, since
And we probably
that means you're
best
leaving
leaving
in
in
the afternoon. You probably want to take enough supplies with you for, a couple days there and back and whatnot.
Ralph's making a big batch of tea.
yeah. Are we taking our little friend with it? The dragon thing?
Cinder? Yeah. She's coming.
Okay, so Phaedra's going. Okay.
Yeah.
And you have the option as to whether or not you want Aki to come with you or to stay and guard the Windstar Manor.
I wouldn't mind him staying in the guard.
Yeah, he can stay
Mhm.
guard and stay near Rhiannon, I guess, probably, or
Yeah.
whoever.
And then you only have to figure out which Windstar is going.
Yeah. I mean, I technically can't bring Biddy at the moment. He doesn't know any of this.
So, do we want the necromancer or the paladin?
Paladin.
Well, if Phaedra's going,
You've got Phaedra.
Baron's not.
Okay, here's the thing.
Yeah,
You've
if-
got both Phaedra and Beast in this party. They have 70 and 73 hit points.
Phaedra is higher level. I was like, what?
Yeah.
Vader has more hit points?
She's also
Yeah,
a,
she's
a very tough dwarf. So yeah.
Tough dwarf.
Rather only is 28.
Yeah, and then
Yeah.
Shiori even has more hit points than Adler does. So
Pity Seahawks. Then there's
I
Gimli,
have
23.
nothing.
I technically have 140 when I'm raging, but still.
anyway,
Yeah.
that'll be it for this week.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Yeah.
see you guys
Aw.
again next week. Right
Mhm.
for a holiday in here, and